From the heart of Kansas City, we bring you Buck and Bob take on Chiefs Kingdom and Mel.
That's me.
I'm Bob,
I'm Buck. We're not fancy analysts.
but we have just as many bad takes.
Not today.
Not today. No, today we're gonna start. We're gonna start off first. Got to get this off our chest, dude. The tush push. I said it all last year. It's gonna ruin the game. It's actually not only is it stupid, it's illegal already.
Yes, sir, it is. So earlier in the game, they showed a couple of the replays from the sideline, and it was fairly obvious that at least one or two of the offensive linemen were moving just a hair before the ball was snapped. And then they showed the next one, and I noticed the same thing. Didn't say anything because, it's just when they're doing it live, it's almost impossible to tell. They're so good at it. But I'm thoroughly convinced now that when they practice that in their practice sessions, they're not practicing the tush push and what they're doing and pushing Jalen Hurts. They're practicing their timing of those offensive linemen getting off the ball early, because by the time the ball is snapped, they're moving forward. There is momentum. There is forward momentum already going. It's not full 100%, but any momentum, every inch counts in the NFL. Every millimeter counts in the NFL, and they've already got it going in their favor, and it happened on every single one. Brady and whoever the other guy was in the booth, they talked about it. And that's when we finally decided to start talking about it. And that's when I said I noticed it. I think Mel said she noticed it earlier too. But it was one of those things. It was almost like it was accepted because, it's the tush push, and here's what they're doing. And they showed us for the millionth time. But it is actually a cheating play.
Yeah, and so on top of it, we all know that the defense can't push. Like, we went to see the live showing of First Things First downtown, and Will Shields came on, was asked about the tush push. He was like, I'm okay with it. I'm just not okay with it being unfair. And they asked him why, and he's like, well, because the defense can't push, and the offense can. So unfair. And I was like, yeah, that's one of the best arguments that I've heard. But I also noticed something else that is completely illegal. So the line is supposed to be able to move when the ball hits the quarterback's hands. The center carries the ball for a good second in the tush push. Like, the center, this is the first time I've ever seen him put a camera on the ball during the tush push. The center literally carries the ball and then is later passed off to Jalen Hurts. That's illegal.
So I didn't see that.
I didn't either. I didn't see that.
I want to clarify.
I wasn't watching for it, so
yeah,
I can't
I'm not
argue
saying
that
it didn't
yeah.
happen. My question is, was the center carrying the ball between his legs or like pulling it back up and then like sliding it back?
Okay, so no, he's not pulling it up and sliding it back. He's keeping it between his legs, pressing his face and his head and shoulders forward. Jalen Hurts is getting further, and then it's going into Jalen's hands. It's literally not touching Jalen's hands for a good half a second, maybe even a full second after the ball is snapped.
How is
It's
that
literally an
helpful,
illegal
though?
play.
I'm curious, like, how is that beneficial to them? You would think giving it to Jalen and then the center having his hands would be like that. I guess that's what I'm wondering.
Okay, so basically, the way I see it, and I could be wrong, but the way I see it is that's what helps them start fast. Like, the line can all start at once, and Jalen follows in behind, looking at looking at left or right, where's the defense going. So he's getting a second or a half a second to judge which side he should go to.
Okay, so what's happening then, I think, based on what you're talking about, is their advantage is they don't have to have the center to quarterback interaction to actually start moving forward. So the center keeps the ball, and Jalen grabs it when he's able to. I don't think they're waiting a half second to a second on every one, because Jalen Hurts has to figure out where he's going to make his leap, almost immediately. So But I do think you're right now that you're saying that. They say hike, and he's still got the ball. And then at that point, Jalen Hurts tries to grab it. And
Well, and the Chiefs actually figured this out. So also with that camera, I saw what the Chiefs were trying to do. They realized the ball was still low to the ground, and you'll see one of the hands of a Chief comes in and tries to knock the ball. Well, I think they actually succeeded in that at the end of the game, and they didn't give us the ball. I'm sorry. If we come up with the freaking ball and there's you can't see because the tush push is stupid, then sorry. Like, we have the ball.
No, I saw the same play that you're talking about, and in my opinion, Hurts and the Chiefs player
Tranquil.
both had their arms around the ball, and the only reason Hurts got up was because the ref was.
That's what I
prompting
think
him
happened.
to
Yeah,
get
Hurts
up.
had his little baby hands on it.
He was wrapped.
Tranquil had it
They were
wrapped.
both-
they were both
Yeah, I
wrapped.
didn't see it wrapped.
Now I don't know if that was the
And I
case
saw the ball
entire time.
in Tranquil's hands immediately afterward, like after the snap, not after the play. If you watch the replay back, they actually succeeded in actually knocking the ball out because the center still had the ball. And that's where it's literally not okay. And they're getting away with it because they can't see. But that's what makes me think the NFL, because this is the first time we've ever seen that camera on the ball. I think the NFL's trying to catch them also. And that's why that camera was even there in the first place. Because that camera, that's the first time I've ever seen it. I didn't watch like all of the Eagles game last week. I watched a lot of it, but we were also like on our phones. It wasn't like I was intently watching the Chiefs game, but I did watch the whole game. But I didn't notice that in that game. But I noticed it here where they were just showing the ball underneath all of the guys.
So you think the NFL is trying to bust the Eagles on this play?
Oh, I do, definitely.
the
So if
week
that's- 'cause
after
it's
they
not
play the
good for
Chiefs.
the game.
Yeah, well, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So if that's the case then, and it was actually noted out by the broadcasting team that there was movement on that offensive line before the ball was snapped, do you think that we see flags going on in the future?
I think it might be just like the
I would
Jawan
love
Taylor
that.
flag because
It's-
there's
I was
plenty
okay.
of-
They
there's
said,
plenty of
let's
teams.
evaluate it in the Chiefs-Eagles game. Let's not call it at all. And then after that, let's go ahead and start calling it.
Well, I mean, and that's literally why Jawan Taylor gets the calls for the false starts. There's still teams that do that. Jawan Taylor did it his entire time in Jacksonville. Like it happens all of the time, but because the Chiefs were so successful, it was something that they honed in on. So I
he
think the
still
Eagles are
had-
going to be under a microscope, and they're really going to try to, because it literally is cheating.
The Eagles
And
get
they've
all the
just-
calls, man.
They've learned.
I think
it.
the refs love the Eagles. I think that's what we've determined here.
Yeah, and I mean, I think what did Jason Kelce say? He said it on accident when he was drunk. It's on some broadcast. I forget. It wasn't New Heights, but he said something about. Well, I mean, I have the ball for a bit. Like it's coming back to me now, and I didn't understand what he was saying when I heard it. I wish if anybody in chat knows what that quote was, where he talked about how like. I don't want to misquote, and I don't want to just pull things out of my ass because I don't remember exactly. But it's starting to like hit now. Oh, I see what he was saying. Like he's literally going with the ball, and that's not like it's supposed to hit the quarterback's hands, and that's when you can move.
I don't know. Is that the case, or is it when the ball
It's snapped.
is like leaves the ground?
As soon as it's moved
It's-
the ground.
Yeah.
But that's usually so. That's where the rules might need to be clarified because that's usually done immediately, and it's in the quarterback's hands. I
I
know
don't think
the center can't
center's
keep
not
it.
an eligible
Yeah,
like,
the center can't
runner or
keep
whatever,
it.
right?
So is there a rule someplace that the ball has to be in the quarterback's hands at a certain amount of time. Like, I don't know, but I assume there is in the bylines some place, because then people would have been doing these trick plays where the center holds on to it for a few seconds like these would have popped up. But since they're so hidden, they've got a guy on either side. Like, they were literally hiding the fact that they've been cheating the last couple years. Is what I think. Anybody, feel free to, if you're in the live chat, feel free to show me some some evidence of like what the rule is. But I know the center can't keep it.
Right.
So
I mean, cheating or just living in the gray. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that they're blatantly deflating balls and watching practices for other teams, right?
Oh, I think that's
But-
blatant cheating. I think
Well,
they're timing
I
the
think-
offensive line moving beforehand.
But
that is
everybody,
that is blatantly
but
shitty.
everybody does that to an extent. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to defend the
I don't know
Eagles.
about mid-play like
Right.
that. Deflating the ball is something that's done off of the field, and it affects both teams. It affects both teams equally. I didn't necessarily have a problem with the deflate gate because that gives the defense the same opportunity to catch the ball as it does the offense.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
It's just a different type of
It's just
ball.
you
so
don't
you're not
practice
used to
with
it.
that.
Maybe it helped
right.
Brady throw the ball better. I don't know. That never really pissed me off. But this, and I have not been on board with you 100% with the tush
No, you
push.
definitely haven't.
I have definitely not. I feel like it's something that every single team can do, and if they want to do it and put their quarterback out there to get hurt, cool. But
Well, and
after
it's-
today,
It's not like
that's-
we're getting stopped on 3rd and 1 a lot of times either, so I don't know how
Well, I mean,
beneficial it'd be for us.
so far this season.
But so today, after we realized this stuff was going on, and after I saw those cameras, and the fact that the Eagles ran the tush push like 20 times in the fourth quarter, it's of course dramatizing it. It was only like 7, but still.
It was a lot.
Yeah, but I never really understood exactly why there was a guy on the right side of the quarterback and a guy on the left side of the quarterback and a guy in the middle. But that could have been just to hide the fact that they weren't passing the ball off.
Oh, to keep it from the refs being able to see the ref that was behind them.
Exactly. Like,
Well, those are the guys that are pushing, though.
it's.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
they're there for a reason.
they're pushing to the right or to the left, but still, the way they line
Where
up
they line up could be
is
influencing.
specifically blocking view.
Yeah.
Well, the one
And I mean, if anybody is gonna cheat, it's gonna be that piece of shit there in fucking Philly.
yeah, no kidding. Nick
Sirianni?
Sirianni.
Nick
Yeah.
Sirianni.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's.
I wanted to
and
see-
another thing. I just want to point this out. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. I've met a lot of people, and you guys seem to think you guys are tough. It's going to be pretty sad that you're going to be defined for decades by the tush push. That's a real manly play there, guys.
I think it's hilarious that that's the name that's just now widely used, even on the broadcast.
Yep, even
Yeah.
on
Right?
broadcast.
That-
I think that's
Call it
so funny.
Call it how it is, man.
Like, it's not like, oh, in the quarterback sneak again, and everybody's like, oh, it's a tush push behind scenes, right? Nope, we just
Okay,
say
so
it.
we want a rule book change for this, right? That's what you've
don't
been
even-
pushing.
I don't
Or
even
I
think
would
you
love them to
need a
come out
rule book
and-
change.
I would love them to come out, and I want to see the actual rule on when the ball needs to be in the quarterback's hands.
Well, I'm just-
because we could come up with a whole lot more trick plays if the center can hold on to the ball for a second after the snap.
So you came up with an idea last season how they could just stop the tush push and its effectiveness right away and make it a much more fair play where quarterback has to take one step back before he can go forward. I like that idea.
Dude,
it doesn't.
I love
it
that
doesn't
idea.
look like something that simple is going to be what they come up with for that. But what
But
if?
do they have to have the ball when
But
they
that
take
keeps
one
them in the
step
field
back?
of view. Like, and I don't want
they
them-
wouldn't be able to do
like-
the center holding onto the ball that way.
Yeah, and it just keeps everything in the field of view. The biggest problem with the tush push and even the quarterback sneak is everything's too clustered. Like it's more like rugby than it is football. And if they decide to make it so defenders can push, then all we are is just playing rugby, because it's just two big piles of men trying to push two big piles of men. Like, I don't want rugby. I want football. I want good football plays, that like.
Well, that kind of leads me into the question that I was going to. So you suggested quarterback has to take one step back before he can go forward. But what if the NFL was to come out and say, hey, we've got a rule change suggestion, but it doesn't affect the offense on the tush push. It affects the defense. What if they were to allow the defense to go ahead and push their guys when defending the tush push?
Then it's rugby, and that's what I don't want.
Right.
I would rather have it be like the NFL. Like imagine missing out on plays like awesome people like Barry Sanders. Like, you know what I mean? We're missing out on good football plays. Even the Eagles could be. We're missing out on Saquon Barkley, awesome third and one runs.
He was really good.
We're just talking
at times
about
tonight.
the health
or today.
of the game. Like it's a lame play. I've said it forever. The QB sneaks even lamer. But this is definitely, now that we've realized that this is literally cheating, I'm really upset. And
I mean, that's what I'm.
And we should have had the ball, dude. I'm sorry, man.
That's what I'm pointing out, though, is that if it is cheating, there's no rules that need to be changed. Like, if they can bring light to identify when they're false starting, basically.
I don't think they've been false starting the whole time.
You don't think?
I think that was something they realized they could finally get away with after a while. But I think it started. It's still a bullshit play. It really is. I don't even care what I was defending. I've changed my stance on what I was defending before. The fact that I know they're cheating to make it more effective now makes me hate it 1,000%, just as much as you ever have. And I don't even care if they stop cheating. At this point, I'm done with it.
But do you think that's why Philadelphia has been the only team that's truly been able to be so successful with this play?
I have a retort to that. Yes, Philly is the absolute best at it. They have practiced it the most, but the biggest reason is they've built a offensive line specifically capable of doing it the best. They have the biggest offensive line, pound for pound, in NFL history. Sorry,
they also have a quarterback that is perfectly
have a quarterback
physically built for that.
Right, but you think if hold on though.
I'm not done with my hold on. I'm not done. So so he like Hurts can also he can squat. I think more than Saquon Barkley. Like he's unbelievably powerful in the lower region, but if NFL teams keep practicing this, it will become the norm, and then all of you will be watching all of your teams doing the tush push on every 3rd and 3 and up.
Except for the Chiefs. Because we
Yeah,
won't let
yeah.
we won't let Mahomes do
We
it.
learned our lesson.
You will be watching Joe Burrow do it, but what it'll turn into is instead of the quarterback doing it, it'll be a wildcat thing where they're giving it to a running back and the running back's tush pushing it. Like there's no reason it has to be a quarterback because no one thinks you're going to pass.
Right.
So it can be anything, it could be any position on the field, anybody with the strongest legs. And so that's where it needs to be gotten rid of before it becomes the norm, and that's what I don't want.
So
Okay,
to protest,
two things, though.
oh,
Hold
sorry,
on.
you go ahead.
Because first I have to say, Sifty Nuggets, thank you for agreeing with me. But second, you said that pound for pound, they have the biggest offensive line, but they were doing this with Jason Kelce, and Jason Kelce is notoriously a very small center.
Yeah.
So
That
I
doesn't mean
feel like that
he was the
argument
best in his position, though.
I still
Just size is.
I still think even with Kelce in there, they were still the the biggest line of the NFL. I think with the other center taking over, they broke records. But
Okay.
even with Kelce and the two guards and the two tackles
Sure.
were ginormous.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's typically going like right over Kelce too. So or the center.
He's usually, but he's going right to left, and then it's also super lame because it's keeping him, as long as he's on top of a player, he's not down.
That's
which
right.
Is so
And they're
lame
not-
on top of
they're
it.
not
It's
just pushing
it's
him-
A silly.
They're not
play.
just pushing him forward. They're also pushing him up. They're pushing him up and over.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know at what point, because there's a point where you're like, say your running back or your wide receiver, like they get like caught, and there's just people pushing back and forth, and they whistle it dead, right? Like they don't do that very often in the tush push.
Yeah, they wait.
Like they wait a long time.
Yeah.
Like they just let them keep like pushing.
So
I don't love that.
Here's another little branch off of this discussion. Here is we've talked a lot, not just over the last year, but over the last years of watching football together and rooting for injuries, right? We do, and every once in a while we'll get pissed off and we'll be like, "Man, I hope that guy gets injured." But
No,
we
and who
don't.
is always the guy that goes, "Stop that"?
Well, yeah, you.
I say
Yeah.
for
None of
the
us.
game.
None of us. Yeah,
You
And
guys
Mel
want
and I
them
are
to
the
stub their
same.
toe
Like,
for the game.
I
I'm
want
like,
them to
no.
stub the
I
toe
want them
for
to
the
stay in
game
and not get hurt.
Yeah,
and I
like-
want to beat them the right way.
Okay.
I don't ever want someone to get hurt.
I want Jalen Hurts to get injured so bad on the tush push, and not because I want Jalen Hurts to be injured. That is not it. I don't have any ill will towards Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good quarterback. I feel like he's a positive role model in the NFL. I could be wrong. I don't deep dive into the Eagles or Jalen Hurts, but I just wanted to prove a point. Like, this is a dangerous play. There's a lot of dangerous stuff that goes on in the scrum between all those offensive linemen, and if he gets down
Yeah.
there,
and pissed off people that might be pinching some nuts too.
if he was on the bottom of one of those scrums while Ndamukong Suh was playing in the NFL,
Oh, yeah.
he would
Would have
come out
broken a
with a
couple of
broken
his
arm.
fingers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know about arm because that'd be hard to.
Or
like,
he'd
but
come out and he'd be like,
come
I'm never doing that again.
yeah, try to rip a finger, break something. That's one person I was always.
I can't
down with
believe
getting
I
hurt with
brought up
Sue.
the name Ndamukong Suh to teach somebody a lesson. I hated that guy.
I
He
knew,
was
yeah,
such
he
a
was one of the few people
cancer
I
for
would
the
have been
game.
cool
Yeah,
with
and getting injured.
getting hurt.
He was such a perfect.
Yeah, I just don't want anybody to get hurt. The NFL, these guys have a short period to make their money, and I think it hurts the spirit of competition. I feel bad for anybody that gets hurt. I don't want anybody to try to hurt anybody. I
No,
think
I
I
agree.
think it's gross. So
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
ever
want-
want that.
except for Hurts.
I don't want anybody to get hurt, except for maybe, when they deserve to be out for the game. But can we put a positive spin on kind of the end of this topic
Oh
of
yeah.
If,
the fact that I think the Chiefs kind of helped expose some of the things with the Eagles that may help get more movement on the Eagles doing this, right? Like I think the Chiefs did help expose some of that, and even some
And
counterplays,
even the NFL
right?
with those cameras, because
Sure.
that's the first time
Yeah.
I saw the things that I saw.
But even
Yeah.
some counterplays where I saw them reaching forward underneath the center and trying to bat the ball down.
I've
the
seen that.
Chiefs came up
I've
with all
seen
kinds
that.
of weird
There was-
stuff. They had Chris Jones in the Super Bowl line up sideways to try to stop.
Chris
stop
Jones
things.
was completely sideways in that
That's
one
so
in that
weird.
one defense. Yep.
Well, let's not talk about the Super Bowl, okay?
But
yeah, let's not talk about that loss. Let's talk about this loss.
we have
this
we
one's
have
better.
we have been on the tush push for a bit, so I just want to leave it with Ty Drick's comment here. If they ran the tush push in the 90s, you'd have 40 players on IR in a week.
yeah.
Amen to that. But let's get to this one, Buck. Why don't you read this one?
I can't read it.
Oh,
from here.
all right. So, Mel, do you want to read it?
All I have to say is Travis Kelce lost that game with his pathetic stone hands.
And just
that
to
wasn't-
let
that
everybody
wasn't
know,
Travis
that was
Kelce, that was-
HD Chiefs fan that said that from chat.
I thought that was Kadarius Toney out there.
Oh yeah, it was.
Wasn't that Kadarius?
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay, so this is hard for me because Kelce is one of my. I was wearing my Jones jersey today because I was hoping for more pressure, which we'll talk
Both
about
of
later.
us, which is weird.
But yeah, we'll talk about that here in a bit. But dude, Kelce, man, oh my God, dude, like all these balls hit him in the hands. They hit him in the hands. What happened?
He only
Okay.
dropped 2 passes.
I was gonna say,
but they were big passes. They were big. I think
you
he
kidding me right
6 targets, 4 catches.
6 targets, 4 receptions.
Okay, what am I missing then?
They were huge targets. Those 2 that he missed. One was the interception.
I feel like I remember.
And there was
4.
I think it was a 3rd down and long, or a third.
Yeah.
That
was a
he would have had the
third
first down.
conversion, Yeah.
It was for a very important first down conversion. So it was because they were so impactful. The 2 that you're remembering, it seemed like that. Now when he caught the ball, I mean, he was running pretty healthy.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I think
But man, those 2 were 2 that last year.
They were.
Last year he probably would have caught at least one of them. But any time before that, he had both of those balls. It's a completely different game. The Chiefs pull out the victory here.
so. I
And
think he had some really bad looks tonight, and I think we wouldn't be talking about it.
You talking on field or on the sideline?
On field. I
Because
think
there
we
was another
wouldn't-
bad look on the sideline.
Yeah, I didn't see that though. So I'm gonna pretend like it didn't happen.
Okay.
But I don't think we'd be having this conversation if Kelce hadn't tipped the ball in the end zone and handed it to the defensive player. Right?
Right
That
in
was
his
a
hands.
horrendous play on his part, but he caught a really low pass.
Yep.
He caught one
Which,
stiff armed,
69ers
like
pointed
2
out in
different,
chat.
like he stiff armed like the same guy twice and had a lot of yards after the catch at the beginning of the game. So like,
Yeah, he doesn't look fat like he did last year. He doesn't look slow but he looked. I mean, if it touches your fingers, and you're Kelce, one of the greatest tight ends to ever live,
Sure.
how do you not catch that? I don't understand how Hollywood Brown is a more clutch catcher than Travis Kelce. I mean, it's just weird to me. It's like he's trying too hard instead of playing the game. It's
yeah,
like
I think he's a little
Could be.
nervous about his performance last year, and I think he's wanting
well
to
he
make the
should
plays.
be.
And I think the whole team, like Mahomes, looked off. Like Mahomes was throwing the ball crazy.
Mahomes was way
and
off.
I'm like,
Mahomes
so
was off. That Thornton, oh my gosh, he had Thornton. That was a TD.
And the very
wide
first
open.
toss of the game for him was way overthrown
Yeah.
also.
yeah. So I think there's a lot more than like what Kelce did in the end zone was awful, and I'm sure he'll be the first to admit it. But I think there were some very positives in that, as well as seeing Kelce have yards after the catch and seeing Kelce grab a really difficult ball. I honestly think the one in the end zone was like an easier catch, and he almost just
Yeah.
was looking to make sure he was
Wasn't
in
even
the end
that low.
zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think he stopped paying attention the whole way because it was an easier ball to catch, and the other ones he was more engaged. So I don't know.
But that's not okay.
It's not. I'm
Kelce.
not
No.
making excuses for him. I'm just saying I don't think it means Kelsey's washed.
Yeah, it's a long it's a stretch to say that he is past and he's done.
Oh, I
But-
think he's gonna like. I mean, I put it in the title. Like, is Kelce washed? I don't think he is. But I think that game made him look like he was. And I mean, he needs to get it together. We can talk about. Can you read?
Yeah,
that?
yeah. HD Chiefs fan, this is actually the point I was going to bring up next, so thank you. If you decide to throw a tantrum on the sideline, then you better damn well make the play that is for the touchdown on the very best drive of the offense. By far the best drive of the offense, the strongest drive of the game. And he did. He was throwing a tantrum on the sideline. My only thing is, like if you remember in the past, there was that, I think it was 2 years ago, I think it was 2023, when he got all pissed off at Andy Reid for something on the sideline, and he was all up in Andy Reid's face. You knew exactly who Travis was pissed at and who he was yelling at. Last week, we knew he was pissed off at Jawan Taylor. I don't know who he was pissed off this time at. There was nothing that had happened.
Who was he yelling at?
Yeah, we don't know. He
Oh.
was yelling. They showed a picture. They showed a shot of him yelling at somebody. It was probably 20, 30 feet in front of him, but the camera angle was coming down, so you couldn't see who was in front of him. It's hard to say. last week we knew it was Juwan because it was obvious. It was right after Juwan had screwed up for the 13th time, and he was right there. This time I'm not really sure. There was so much. I don't want to say negative, just failure. It's not like anybody was screwing up real bad at that point. It was just a lot of maybe miscommunication,
Sure.
maybe.
I mean, I think it's just frustration. Like, they know, like, even Mahomes knows, but, like, they're just not connecting. They're not, like, the passes aren't great, the catches aren't great, the running's not great. Like, nothing's really great. And then there's penalties, and then we're beating ourselves when we do make good plays or try to make good plays, you know. And I think it's just, like, that's just frustration. And that's something that I feel like a lot of the players on that team haven't felt a ton of.
Can we touch on penalties real quick?
Well, hold on. Read this comment really quick because I want to address it. Unless you want me to read it.
It sounds like an
so
Eagles
much
fan.
better.
Nathan Scott said,
I don't
"Writing
think
about
it's
the
an
Tush
Eagles
push
fan.
Is lazy. The game was lost by ridiculously bad running game. That's not untrue. Butker missing a field goal. Kelce being washed as an elite playmaker."
Yep. Your entire comment is true except for the first sentence. We didn't whine. We gave good points about why the tush push is cheating. We gave a lot of info, a lot of thought, and it wasn't lazy. What was probably lazy is the fact that you're coming in here without checking out the start, and you're trying to put your comment on what the thumb says. So that's lazy, sir. But I have to agree with the other 3 sentences.
Well, okay, can we talk about the run game? Because
Yes, we can.
Wait. I really wanted to say, I wanted
yeah.
to touch on the penalties
Oh,
here
okay,
real quick.
sorry.
Can somebody please let these NFL professional referees that get paid a lot of money, that the Chiefs are supposed to get all the calls? What
Yeah.
the hell is happening here? We're not getting any of the calls.
yeah, they forgot to pay
Well,
them this year.
I will say
I am stopping payment on my check.
there was a pass interference early in the game that we were like, oh, I'm glad they didn't call that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
they still missed stuff, but yeah, no, we've never gotten the calls. It's just been bad officiating, and sometimes it goes our way, and sometimes it doesn't. And there's tons of data out there to show most of the time it didn't go our way. You just saw us playing in all the big games because we were the best team.
Yeah, well, and I think it's not bad officiating. I don't want to say that because I do think that there are times where it's bad officiating, but it's also, I think, an impossible.
I'm not
Like,
complaining about the refs,
Yeah.
by the
It's
way.
an impossible
Caveat,
challenge.
by any means.
I'm not
To
even
get the calls right.
Like, we didn't lose this game because of refs.
Not
and
even
we
close.
didn't lose this game because of tush push.
No.
We just wanted to point out that we realized tonight the tush push is an illegal play, but we didn't lose because of that. And we lost because of lots of other things, which
Well, hold on.
what's
the
his
tush
name
push is
pointed
not
out.
an illegal play. The way the Eagles run it is illegal.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Sure.
and so
Or
like,
at least the way the Eagles ran it
the
today.
reason
is
we
illegal.
lost is because of what that one guy said in the chat. You know, it's the 3 reasons after there. So you wanted to talk about the running game.
Yeah, I mean, so I want to start off with, we complained that they didn't run enough. And I think they did run a decent amount more tonight. However, running on 3rd and 16, not my favorite.
That was deplorable.
And the Eagles did it a bunch too. I don't get
Yeah.
that. I don't get
Yep.
that thought process.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Well,
really
But
weird.
I especially don't.
The
I get
Eagles
it
have
for
Saquon
Jalen
Barkley.
Hurts. Yeah.
So, like, it's a little more of a, like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like-
I don't get it for us. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get it.
at all.
That's giving up.
That used to be like, oh, well, Pat's got it.
3rd and 16 in 2022 was 66% of the time. That's a first down for us. Literally.
Yeah.
And now it's like 3rd and 16. Well, I mean, maybe they won't think we're running, so we'll run it and hope to get lucky. That's not lazy, but I feel like they're giving up. Like they don't
Yeah.
think that Pat can do it. Maybe they
I-
didn't think they had the receivers to run the play to get that first down. I don't know.
I will say I love that they did not give up on the run.
Agreed.
that they continue to do it, because even
Even though
if
they
you're only
couldn't.
even if you're only getting 2 to 4 yards a carry, you're still keeping the defense on their toes, which was my biggest complaint last week, was that the defense doesn't even have to do anything to expect the run. They're just like, they're absolutely not going to do it. Like,
Yep, and HC Chiefs fan
Marty Ball.
says the run on 3rd and 16 made me feel like Marty Ball.
Yeah.
no,
and
that
I
would have
was
been a
just like-
screen. That
and I
would have been a
thought to
screen.
myself, not for Marty Ball.
Yeah,
You're
Marty Ball was
thinking
run,
about
run,
Dick for meal ball.
Yeah,
But,
that was I
but-
formation run.
Yeah, I mean, were you even born during Marty Ball?
Okay.
I think you were like 5, but I was like 10.
I was like 28.
Yeah, it's something I've looked back on. I don't remember that time, but
I do.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But Lubes, I am Lubes. What's up, brother?
Lubes,
Back from our
my
streaming
boy.
days back in WoW Classic.
my buddy, Lions fan here.
Said watched a lot of the game. It looks like Mahomes had to play hero ball.
Very true.
Hopefully some weapons come back healthy. He did play hero ball, but I also saw happy feet from Mahomes. But we shouldn't jump onto that though. We're
just excited to see
the-
Lubes.
Yeah, we're just excited to see Lubes. But we were talking about the run game.
How many
Dude,
attempts
hold
did
on,
they
hold
have
on.
last
Let me
last
finish.
game? Go ahead.
Okay.
We
Sorry.
were talking about running still.
So
That was her point.
yeah, but I didn't get to say my point. I was just setting up my point. But so we ran more, okay? But man, like we ran 8 for Hunt, 8 for or 10 for Pacheco. But dude, Pacheco, okay, so a lot of people have been telling me Hunt needs to be the starter, and I've been thinking to myself, Pacheco looked like he was back. Let him be the starter. Hunt be the the other, the short yardage back. But honestly, maybe we just go back to the good old, like, one running back system where Hunt gets the majority of the carries, because Hunt gets, like, 6, 7 more carries this game. I think this game goes a different way. Pacheco looked bad, and I hate to say it, because he really came in, was a flash in the pants, like, or flash in the pants. What is it?
Yeah, I don't
am
know
saying
what
right?
that
Flash in the pants.
Nope.
Okay.
That's not a thing.
But-
Flash in the pan.
Okay, yeah,
I
and
think it's
he
a
was
gold rush.
he was
reference.
like a real.
Alexis
He was
trying to help
quickly,
you.
like real good, but he's had injuries to his shoulder. He's had injuries to his leg, and he never had good vision ever. And he really held us down this game. Like we actually, Andy tried to run more. He
did.
specifically ran with running backs.
19 times.
9 more times than last week, because it was 10 last week.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. is
5
how
and
many
on
times?
5. So he's trying, but Pacheco is just letting us down, and I would, I would give some shit, but I mean, they're like I say, they're D line, but I should talk about their front 7, because they're a 3-4. Their linebackers are their edge are their edge rushers, but they lost the 2 best ones they had last year. I mean, their Eagles D is not even close to what it was in the Super Bowl. Not even close.
So when you say give the ball more to Hunt, are you talking? So you said 6 more carries, right? So would you say take 6 carries away from Pacheco and give them to Hunt, or are you saying add
Yeah.
6? Okay. So if they did that, it definitely could have made a difference in this game. But there were so many individual huge plays in this game that if they went a different way, that 3rd and 16, the run was probably the smallest of them. But what about that 4th and half a yard where they went for it on 4th down? And I don't know, I think you were making us a drink or something in the kitchen, but you were sitting right there, and I said, I hate this play call. This is ridiculous. And then they ran the ball, which was even a more
I was
dumb-
there. Yeah,
And that was
it was a weird
that
run,
play
too. It
changes
was
the
like-
game. Butker's missed field goal changes the game.
Sure.
There's so many individual plays that the Chiefs just absolutely blundered.
That 4th
changed the
down
game.
run was a weird run too. Like
That was.
We had it was like an offset I formation with an extra fullback. Like
Yeah,
it was
weird.
so weird.
Yeah, what do you call that? I haven't played Madden in so long now. I can't remember the name of that type of play where
It looked like
the running
a-
back starts to one direction and then cuts back the other way. What do you call that?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, it's that's what it seemed like. It was almost like
what is that called? Oh my gosh,
I know I ran it a million times in Madden.
Doesn't
It's
really
called a-
matter.
because you fake to this way.
Yeah, and
run
then-
that way,
yeah, then you go the other way.
Counter.
Counter. Yes,
It
counter.
is, yeah.
Yes,
Wow,
counter.
that was too
I'm not
easy.
gonna
We should've
take.
gotten
I'm not
that.
gonna
I
take
should've-
credit for that. It was Jay
No,
Way.
we
Oh,
should've gotten
who was
that.
it?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z the White. Thank you. Counter.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank you.
absolutely. Counter. I feel like that was a counter run, which I can't remember the last time the Chiefs ran a counter run.
Well, and you don't.
don't
run,
have a running back good
don't
enough to
run
do
a
that.
counter run on a fourth down. On a fourth down,
You
it's-
run.
Just
yeah.
go
Get there.
straight.
Yeah.
So I think my opinion on Pacheco, because I love Pacheco, but I think Pacheco did very well in our offense when the pass was very good. And now that the pass isn't that great, Pacheco, his flaws are starting to show, right?
His 7th round pick.
Yeah, I mean,
status
it's
is
starting to
starting to
show
show.
like he doesn't have the same vision that we would want in a running back one. He doesn't have the same, like, I don't know. You say he doesn't get a lot of yards after he's hit. I don't know if that's a thing, but
You saw it today.
I
He
said
doesn't break tackles.
Doesn't break
Okay,
tackles.
okay.
He used to drag guys with him for a few yards.
Right.
He used to do that, but he never broke the tackle.
It doesn't even seem like he's doing that really.
Yeah. It's
well, I don't see the same like jump up and like I don't know.
I don't see the same pounding of the
Enthusiasm,
ground
like-
with his feet either.
Yeah,
Like
like
he's damn
fighting
you
the
know,
ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just
and injuries can change people.
And
Like
I
it
think it
can
did.
change the way you think and the way you run at things.
Right.
I mean, we saw Juju had some injuries early in his career, and he reached out for a ball tonight that he could have got, and he got scared, and he pulled those arms right back in, and fear is the mind killer. That's
But I
from Dune.
think I also think that oh gosh, I think that Pacheco, it was like I don't know, before they were covering the pass completely, and we were still successful, right? They knew we were going to pass, and Pacheco didn't have a ton of reps because I was thinking, did he just get a lot more opportunities to gain his momentum and things like that? But I don't think that was it. It was just the fact that they were always covering the pass, and now
Because they were scared of the pass. That's
Now
a
they're
really
covering
good
the
point
pass.
that I hadn't thought of.
But now they're covering the pass because that's all we ever do. But Pacheco's still not able to get that because they're rushing Mahomes, I think, and being able to stop the run more. So I don't know. I don't know enough about how that works, but
Yeah, I don't understand this question. Is the tush push considered leverage? I don't know.
I mean, if you just take it for the specific words that he's asking,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's a leverage play.
It's all
It's
all
all
about
leverage.
leverage.
Yeah.
Like that's how they that's
and
how
the
they
fact that they're
execute it.
jumping off before they hike the ball, they've got leverage in their advantage.
And sifting nuggets. Did we not touch on that when we were talking about Kelce? Did we not touch on that part of the?
I think he's
I mean,
just. I think
yeah, I
he's,
mean, that
he's
was
referring to when
definitely-
I said that there were specific plays in the game. Yeah, that's
that
that's
was
definitely another one of the game.
game changers.
That's probably besides the missed field goal. That's probably the biggest.
Also,
Actually, that probably is bigger than the missed field goal. Honestly,
also not going for 4th and 7 with seven
like four. Yeah, was it
7 minutes
7
to go at 20, and you're down 20-10. Like that was weird. I don't understand why they did that at all.
We were
on a
all,
team
yeah,
that
surprised.
can tush push everything. I mean, that was just odd to me completely. Like this isn't a normal team. Any other team in the NFL I would have got, but with that much, the tush push is like a 93%. Like that's where the Travis Kelce podcast gets the 92%ers because they had a 92% win rate on it 1 year. Like, and I don't
Which
know
blows
what it
my
is
mind.
now. It was high 80s last year.
I thought for sure it was in the high 90s. We were talking about this during the game. I've never seen the Chiefs defend the Eagles tush push successfully. I mean, I know they stopped them from getting a first down on the 3rd and 1, but then they gave it up on the 4th and 1 a couple of times today it seemed like. But I've never seen any team stop the tush push on a 4th down. So for a 92% to be like their shining, like that's their best year, I'm kind of surprised that it's that low, honestly. It's so successful.
Yeah, I mean, but 92% is really successful.
It is.
Like, do you know any other play that even comes close to that?
Point afters.
Depending on the year with Butker.
Like and subscribe, baby.
Do you think injuries had anything to do with this? I know we lost Dana and Fulton.
Is this the same conversation we were having like early in the season last year? It's the same.
Well,
It's injuries to the wide receivers. This
was Dana and
Dana and Fulton.
So Dana's not that huge of a loss. If we're just going to be honest with each other here, it might be a loss. He's
It's a
definitely
depth
better.
loss.
He's better against the run than he is like as a edge rusher.
Sure.
And we really needed that today.
But Fulton was a pretty big loss because without Fulton on the field, we can't put McDuffie in the slot. And so if we're running nickel and we're running dime, we're running anything that has a slot corner, McDuffie can slide in there, right? As long as there's 3 or more corners on the field. But problem is we don't have unless Noel Williams, gets playtime, we don't really have anybody who could go to the outside besides Watson and McDuffie. And McDuffie in the middle changes a lot for us as far as coverage in the middle. I mean, Bolton has the run locked, but he definitely does struggle in coverage. It's really the only knock on him. And so, yeah, not having Fulton in definitely hurts. And I mean, if you remember, Fulton's the one that picked off Mahomes last year when Mahomes injured
Rice.
He's a really good, aggressive player. And yeah, those injuries hurt, but at the same time, really, Kelce was the biggest, in my opinion, the biggest fault in this game, and it's really got me.
You said Kelce was?
Yeah, it's really got me worried about him.
One play, I think.
2.
No, but I think it was the one play of the tip in the end zone to the defensive player. That was the one play that, yes, changed the tide of the game completely.
I'm talking about more than just that. I mean, he ran the wrong route last week and hurt our number 1 receiver while Rasheed Rice is out.
How do we know that he was
Because he said it.
Okay, but
And then Greg Jennings on First Things First, confirmed it. The way that play works is you're the pick route. You are not supposed to be on the inside. You're supposed to be on the outside to get the pick.
to be fair,
And he was
I think he
not
did
there.
land the pick, just on the wrong person.
Yeah, on the wrong person.
He did his job,
Yeah.
just not right.
And that makes more sense as to why he was shoulder in. I was like, what is he doing? Okay, well.
But yeah, so we were on the running backs. I'm with Start Hunt as the main running back, Pacheco back up solely. No, don't have him trade off carries. That's how I am right now. But at the same time,
Is there anybody available in free agency
well,
at
we
all?
haven't even. No. Did we even dress Mitchell, or was he a healthy scratch? Because I didn't see him in the game.
I don't see his name on the sheet at all.
Well, did not play.
Elijah Mitchell not active.
Yeah. So
Sifting Nuggets. I can't pull this up on my phone.
he
Sifting
was
Nuggets
one
has
of
a
the
really good
healthy
point here.
He was one of the healthy scratches.
We can't keep throwing low lows to a 36-year-old.
Yeah, but the
Kelce.
low one's the one he caught.
He did. I mean, he did catch it. He struggled to catch it, and he needs to
anybody
catch it.
would've, though.
Yes, you're right. And it being my age, thinking about, like leaning down just to like, oh, man, then I got to get back up after I catch it and then run and then get hit. When you get paid millions of dollars to do it. But Mahomes was off. I don't think that all of those low throws were intended to be low.
No.
I think one or two of them were just to keep him away from the defender. But I think Mahomes was a big, big problem with this team
I
today.
don't know
He was off. His
And
first
I wanna
pass to
say
Noah
this.
Gray was way overthrown, just like that throw to Thornton later.
Gray still could have caught that. I want
I
to
don't
know
think
why
so.
we haven't seen Tanyan on the field.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. This is a,
I don't know
this
who
is a
that
vet
is.
that we know.
He's a tight end that we picked
yeah,
up. He's
yeah.
played with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. He's an established tight end. I mean, he's a tight end one, right? He's a catcher, but he's got some good blocking skills. But he showed out in preseason.
I mean, shut up. Preseason camp. He at least had
He
one
wasn't
to two
gonna make this
one-handed
team.
grabs every day of training camp.
Like, he was literally just there as a placeholder when they brought him in, and he impressed so much that, I mean, they did put him on the practice squad and then pulled him right out. He didn't make
But
the first initial 53, but then
he did though. Okay,
Yes, yeah.
In
There's a
sense, because-
caveat.
yeah, so you have four. Like, if you've been in the league over 4 years, you do not have to go to waivers if you're cut from a team. You can go to anybody you want to, right? So
Yeah.
they were able to use Tanya, and I assume they had a conversation with him saying like, "Hey, we're gonna sign you tomorrow after we get the roster set, because you only put a certain amount of people on injured reserve and yada 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 before roster cut." So basically, Tanyan was planned to be there the entire time. He signed the day after to practice squad, and then was signed to the team, I think, that same day or the day after that. But he hasn't played in these last 2 games, and dude, Tanyan, he looked amazing, and he's definitely a proven vet in the league. And
Yeah, but so is Kelce.
so is Kelce, but Kelce,
Like, Tanyan's not our answer. Like,
no, but if Tanyan was in today instead of Kelce, we might have won that game.
whoa.
I mean, you have to think that TD instead of the big turnover. That was
maybe
the huge
Patrick doesn't
turning
even
point.
throw it to him, though, because he's not as comfortable with Tanyan as he is with Kelce. And, like, there's so many what ifs there. Like, do I think
Yes,
that we
but I'm
could
saying-
explore something with Tanyan? Sure, but he's not our answer. He's not going to help us.
If Kelce,
He's not going to replace Kelce.
If he better should. If Kelsey's got 1 or 2 more games left, in my opinion, and then, dude, it's time to just go ahead and sit, and you can talk to Taylor Swift on the phone on the sidelines,
hold
bro.
on. Kelce had a lot of positives tonight. The
what
4
I'm saying.
catches,
What positive?
the 4 catches that he had, that one catch where he stiff-armed the same guy 2 times. I mean,
He held the ball out here. That was
That's
the
a
most
different play.
dangerous play of the
That's
night.
a different play.
That's a different play.
But
that
he
was a
was-
stupid rookie move. You
It
don't hold
wasn't.
that ball out like
It
that.
wasn't
You
because
know?
the defender was holding his other arm.
So you hold the ball like this up to your freaking chest, like it's a baby that you.
I'm not
going
going
to
to argue that
fall.
you're wrong here. I'm not going to argue that you're wrong. But I think if there was another defender that was close, he might have done that. It's hard to say because that's what happened. It wasn't the smartest play. I'm not going to argue that you're wrong on that. But I just think
cocky.
It was weird.
You
I
think
don't
that was
think
cocky?
that's cocky.
I don't think it was cocky.
I
don't think
Chris
that was
Jones
cocky.
is also getting cocky. Like
Chris Jones was getting cocky.
they think that they think they're still 5 years younger, and you have to adapt your game to what you could do at that point. And dude, I'm telling you, I literally
great ones have a hard time with that.
Kelce might be my favorite Chief of all time offensively, man. Like it
I just don't
kills
think
me
it
to
was,
say what
I
I'm
just
saying.
don't think it was cocky. I think that play specifically. I don't know what it was.
If it
I'm
wasn't
not going to
cocky,
be.
it was stupid.
I think that there was
I
no
don't
other
know.
defenders anywhere near him, and he knew he could get away with that, doing that. But even
I think it looked like he was trying to pitch it backwards.
I don't think
No,
he was
when
trying
they
to
when
pitch
we
it
watched the
backwards.
replay, it definitely didn't look like that.
Okay,
But
all right, well,
We can agree to disagree on that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, I just said I could be
Yeah.
wrong on that. It just looked
Well,
like he was
nobody
looking all
knows
over the place.
because he never did pitch the ball, and
Yeah.
he ended up pulling it
I
in.
mean, the first
Maybe
time we saw
maybe
it,
he was
we
looking
were
for somebody. I don't
the
know.
first time we saw it, we were all kind of like, "What the hell is happening right now? Like, what is he doing?" And then they showed the replay, and I was like, "Okay, I understand this a little bit more." So I don't know what was going on in his head, but he did have some good plays. I mean, you can't argue the fact that he did have some meaningful contributions to the offense.
All right, well, we'll just leave it at that. Guys, let us know in chat what you think about Kelce. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Yada, yada. Please leave comments. We need comments. Help us grow. Help us get out to more people. We're having a good time.
I will say it's
We want
harder
more
for
people
us
to know.
to pull up as many comments when we're doing the show live together just because we have one laptop and it's a little bit farther away from us, so it's harder for us to focus on it. I don't have my glasses, so I can't even read the laptop where it is, so it's a little bit harder. We are reading them, though. We do really appreciate every single comment, so don't stop doing
We
that.
will read all of your comments left after the show's
yes,
not live.
absolutely.
So we would love to have those. But, I mean, let's talk about, dude, Hollywood Brown. You know, it reminds me of it. Dude, Hollywood Brown, 5 targets, 5 receptions, and hard catches.
At least 2 of
almost
them.
every single one of them, except one of them, you know, he caught, you know, there wasn't anybody around, but he was catching them in traffic.
There were at least 2 of his catches that had he not caught that ball, I wouldn't have been disappointed. I wouldn't have been sad.
Yeah, it
they
would've been
were
like that was
hard
normal.
fought
Yeah.
catches.
It made me think back to I forget which, I think it was the first John Wick, where he goes, people keep asking me if I'm back. Well, yeah, I think I'm back. You know, like it felt like, dude, Hollywood is back to up to no good. Like Hollywood's back, and that's exciting for the future because remember, we got Royals coming back, we got Worthy coming back, we got Rasheed Rice coming back. We have a lot of stuff to look forward to, but we are struggling right now.
Listen, Hollywood went like limping off the field for one play.
yeah, we thought,
but we didn't know, and
Yeah.
it was like, no, like, are
Yeah,
you
I know. I was
serious?
like, no. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah, like,
and then he
that's-
came back
yeah.
and made another catch.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like that meme, like, no,
He's a
no,
tough
no,
guy.
No.
Yeah, it was like at the end of the first half, and then we were like, oh, great. I don't know how long he's going to be out. And then he came back. He was out for one play, and then he came back. So I was like, okay. But, I mean, he was juking for extra yards. Remember that? He, tipped the ball to catch it. Like, it was nuts. Like, he was just very reliable. And
So here's-
honestly, that's what we need.
Here's my question. So Hollywood, I think we're very impressed with what Hollywood has done so far this season, except for the very beginning of the game last week.
Yeah.
Thornton, everything that we've seen from Thornton, we're very impressed with. Tonight, Mahomes was off, and so there were a couple balls thrown his way that he didn't have a chance in hell to catch. Why is Thornton not being targeted more? Because he obviously has the skills.
Well, he's just, I mean, Thornton's lining up in the X receiver spot, and Mahomes just isn't used to throwing to that wide receiver. That wideout was being used as the guy that, you don't throw too often. Like Watson was lining up as the X, going long, and every once in a while he'd be open. Or
Right.
what's his name? The guy with 5 names.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
No. M.
M. Night
Marquise
Shyamalan.
Valdez-Scantling. Marquise
Marquise,
Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's traditionally we haven't really used those as our main guys. Like
Right.
AJ Brown is one of those. Like we haven't really used those, and Mahomes is upping his game, learning how to use those types of guys. So
Yeah.
they're sprinkling it in, but I do think Tyquan is going to be very good. And I've been telling everybody watch it. Just Mahomes has to get comfortable with it, and he's got to not overthrow him. He's got to.
Well, we saw it last week too, though. He overthrew Taekwon twice, real bad, and then connected with him. And we saw it again tonight where the first few passes he threw to him, like somehow they're not on the same page. There's like, I don't know if Mahomes thinks he's just this magician that can warp down the field at a rate that's so crazy.
I have a little bit of a theory on this. So Tyquan ran a faster 40 in the combine than Tyreek did. And he knew, Mahomes knew that when Tyreek was here, he could just hurl that ball and Tyreek would find his way underneath it.
Right.
Yep.
So in his mind, he's like, well, Tyquan's faster. I can just do that.
Right.
And I don't know that Tyquan's on the same page with Mahomes yet.
Tyquan's there quite yet.
So
I love his potential, though.
So Tyquan has a crazy range of catching, right? And I talk about short receivers all the time, and people don't understand what I'm talking about. Like, they're not great normally. The reason Tyreek was great is because he could jump. He could jump his
vertical
body
was
height.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he could literally jump to where his feet were like at the same level that his head would be if he was on the ground.
Is
And
that an
this
exaggeration?
No.
It's
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen him do a backflip? He's literally his entire height off of the ground. Like he
doesn't even have to do a backflip like fast because he's got plenty of time up in
That's
the
so
air to do
funny.
it.
Yeah, that's what changed. That's why everybody's saying like, "Oh, this is the next Tyreek." I'm like, no, there's
Right.
not going to be the next
So, like,
Tyreek
really-
for like a million years. It's like the one guy who was like 5 foot
Thank you, Nuggets.
10 that could dunk, or 5'8" that could dunk, like back in the Jordan days.
So
But
really, those throws wouldn't
Well, let me
have
finish.
been
Spud Webb.
overthrown to
Spud Webb.
Tyreek because he could have jumped up and gotten him.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So Tyreek's range of catch was astronomical
Okay.
because he had the ups that we just haven't. I mean, we haven't really seen. I mean, he's the only one I could think of in the NFL, ever really that had that type of ups with how short he was. I mean, he literally is like a frog. Like and that's what made him so good.
I mean, Patrick's the frog.
Not literally like a frog.
I mean,
Frogs can jump like
Ribbit.
multiple times their body
that is-
height.
well, that's what I was trying to point out. Like, it's just like
But he got ups.
different.
Yes,
He's
Yeah.
he is.
like there's
got this.
nobody else
He's
that can
built
jump like
different.
that. And he also became better because of he would vary his speed. So he'd be running down, beating the guy, but he'd be tricking the guy. The guy's thinking Tyreek's running as fast as he can. Then the ball goes, he's, oh crap, overthrown.
Overdrive.
Like, and he just turns on the gas, and then he still can jump even if it's super overthrown. So that was what made Tyreek different. And
So another positive thing I think I can take from this game, keeping on the pass and Tyreek Thornton, is that for the last 3 games that we have lost.
Oh.
No, I'm counting the Super Bowl,
Okay.
unfortunately. But for the last 3 games that we have lost, we're getting some really good practice at the deep throw. So when all of our pieces are in play again, I do feel
This
like
league is in trouble.
we're getting much like it's going to take time, but Mahomes is getting back into, maybe by necessity, having to throw the ball deep, and there is some excitement there
I can
when
even
they're
go further.
throwing it deep, right? Like, it's exciting.
I could even go further because I spent a ton of time. I was there for well over half of the training camp days, and I could say Mahomes' overthrows are not like that in camp. I think he's still getting used to the O-line giving him time, and they definitely had their mess ups tonight, but also strengths. I think once he still has happy feet, and that's in the history of the NFL. That's only been good for one man. His name's Peyton. He's got happy feet, and he's freaking out. And if he could just woosah and just chill, I think he's going to hit a lot more of those. And he needs to just be okay with I feel like he needs to get back to where like it's okay if we don't win everything. And the fans, you guys need to help him with that. You guys need to support him regardless. You do.
I think they do.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, our fans have gotten so freaking
Did you hear boos today?
no.
I didn't hear boos today.
No, but we've never heard that. I'm talking on social media and shit, and on YouTube, like comments.
I mean, I think
guys, like
You're going to get the trolls no matter what.
You're gonna
we
get that,
used to be
especially-
the worst freaking team. We used to never win anything.
Right.
Be so thankful and just say,
Yeah,
hey, dude,
agreed.
if you didn't do it today, I believe in you, and you're going to do it next week.
Right. But
Stop
I think
making
this
it
is,
prove to you that you're gonna believe in him.
this
I
is
don't
just
know.
the reality after being so successful, because you get a lot of like people that come
Fair
on,
weather
fair
fans.
weather fans.
There
that
was a
come
comment
on and
in the
that,
chat earlier.
Stanley said
like,
there were boos at the game.
There
Oh.
was a comment from somebody in chat that was like,
Prove it with the
"Bye,
video,
bye,
Stanley."
Fair
just
weather
playing.
fans,
Right.
And it was so good. It was like, yeah, and you can fucking let the door hit your ass on the way out because we don't
Yeah,
need
like-
you guys.
Let the
We're
door
all-
hit you where the good Lord
we're
split
all
you.
in it for the long run, right? Win or lose, like we're here. But I do think that you can't just give Mahomes a pass. You can't just be like, it's okay if you don't win, but it's like, it is
give 'em
okay if
some
you
passes.
don't win.
I'm
You
okay
give him
giving
some passes.
giving Mahomes a pass because Mahomes won't give himself a pass.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
You can't
And
say that about a
we need to hold
majority
him
of the
up.
players. Like you have to hold most of those guys accountable. I feel comfortable that Mahomes will never allow himself to not be 100% accountable
Agreed.
for not just his
Agreed.
play, but the team's play.
Sure.
Yeah, just
Even
give
if
him-
he's not the problem.
Right.
just give him, right now, just pretend you're giving him a hug, and he's gonna feel it, guys. I'm being silly, but honestly, like, dude, we've gotten so petty and so we want everything to be perfect. Like, dude, are we Eagles fans? Stop this, guys.
Okay.
Like,
Let me ask you, let's just step back for a moment, okay? Let's look at the macro for a moment. The first game was deplorable, right? Did you see improvement this week over last week?
I did. I did in
Significant.
yeah.
Honestly, significant improvement. On the defense, the defense was probably the biggest improvement. I mean, they gave up a lot to Saquon today, but not nearly what I thought they would give up to Saquon today. The throws were contested for the most part, whereas last week the throws were just to
Yeah.
most
People
of the
were
receivers
wide open.
Yeah.
wide open, 10 to
Yep,
15 yards wide open. It was absolutely
Like,
maddening.
nobody
But
in
this
sight.
week they were contested, so I saw a lot of progress. I mean, we were in the game until the final quarter. There were a lot of things that could have happened that would have put us in a position where the game was out of reach in our favor in late in the third quarter, early fourth quarter. That didn't. Those will eventually go in our favor again, like they did last season when this team is playing up to par.
But don't you think this is better? I mean, honestly, for our team to lose a couple games and actually feel that and get better rather than last season where we just somehow squeaked out every little
Yeah.
win, even though we played like crap a lot of the game. You know what I mean? Like, it was like there was, like, yeah, we got to get better so they're not so close, but we're still winning. So, like, who really cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nope. That's
Yeah, you're good. Do that one next.
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z the White One
Oh my God.
says, I have been here since Tecmo Super Bowl.
Old school.
Gonna take more than an 0-2 start to drive me off. Patrick is a football god. Even gods have bad days. Well, if we're back in the Tecmo Bowl days, then I want Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. FTW,
I'm
baby.
gonna run all the way back to
I
the
agree, man.
10-yard line
I
and then
played
run
Tecmo
all
Super
the
Bowl.
way to the. Yep. But yeah, so Tecmo, yeah, dude. Guys, we can.
You're
start,
right, though.
We can.
You're right. An
easily
0-2 start for the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, Trent McDuffie. I'm not down in the dumps here. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and with these guys as the leader of the team, I have confidence that they will make the adjustments that they need to make to get us to the playoffs, and then again to the AFC Championship game, and hopefully again to the Super Bowl for the 4th straight time. We're not down. We're not down, but we're calling out where the Chiefs need to make, where the Chiefs have had issues.
I'm not even scared. I talked about it before the season started. I said we could go 4-5 to start, and I think we still end up being 12-5 or 11-6, which is enough to get us in the playoffs. I was the one weirdo in Kansas City telling everybody, dude, we're fine. When we were 3-4, I was like, we're fine. And everybody's freaking out like, oh, yep, it was flash in the pan, the Chiefs are done. I was like, dude, we're fine. And we won the Super Bowl. So we have a really tough front schedule. We have a really easy last schedule. I mean, we do have our divisional opponents, but as far as our NFC and other division opponents, as far as we know, because teams change, those are pretty easy games as far as we predict.
Fridge is open.
Thanks.
But
just one correction. It's called the Arrowhead Invitational,
Sorry.
not the AFC Championship.
My bad.
Yep. So I'm not like, I was with the Chiefs. I've been with. I wish I started this podcast earlier, but I was doing gaming podcasts, and I also felt like kind of a pretender. Like if I wanted to do it, all the guys on ESPN always sounded like they knew what they were talking about. We've learned doing this podcast, they don't actually know what they're talking about a lot of the time. Like maybe the majority of the time, because they cover all sports and all teams. Like they just don't know. I don't know as much about all the other teams as them, but about the Chiefs, I feel pretty confident. I mean, I called us dropping Joe Tooney 2 days before it happened. I didn't see the trade because I didn't think that was possible. But boy, I was wrong there. But I'm just saying we know Chiefs.
Nick Wright knows Chiefs.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're lucky to have
but
Nick
he's
Wright.
one of the
Very few.
But
Very
now
few.
ask,
And he
ask
also
Nick's,
even goes a little overboard too.
And he's from Kansas City.
but ask Nick Wright about the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to tell you what all of the other talking heads at
100%.
ESPN say about the
100%.
Patriots, because that's what they read in the weekend highlights, and that's fine. That allows
'Cause
them to
there's
do a
no
good job
way.
75 to 80% of the time. But when they start talking about Pacheco and his mediocre play last season, they don't know the intricacies of Pacheco in this line and the way that it works together, and not Pacheco specifically, but the Chiefs as a whole. Like Bob said, we focus on the Chiefs off season, during the season, practice, training camp. I mean,
yeah, and
all
I'll
of
give it
that.
to you. I'm bad with teams outside the Chiefs. We've made a few
Or in college,
videos,
we
and
know almost nothing about college football.
Yeah, I screwed up on the Chargers. I screwed up on one of the team's offensive coordinators, and I felt horrible. But we are honest about what we don't know, but we are very educated on what we do know, and that's the Chiefs. So, what else do we have here?
Can we talk a little bit about, so Mahomes was off in the past, but
Okay.
he did show a lot of Mahomes magic tonight with
in
the
the run game, yeah.
right? I mean,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was
That can't be the answer, though.
shoulder
I know
checking.
that can't be the answer. It
It
scares the
can't
crap out of
be,
me.
but it is good that he still does it. You know what I mean? Like, he puts that pressure on himself and he makes a play happen when a play needs to happen.
It scares the crap out of me though when he's
Yeah.
shoulder checking someone, and I'm like, that's my throat shoulder.
But you know what? Maybe it scares the crap out of his
Cool as hell
receivers.
to watch, though.
But maybe it scares the crap out of his receivers too, because they're like, "Who's gonna throw to me if you get hurt?" And maybe I need to do a better job of getting open. Like
Exactly. Do you think that does something psychologically to them? Like,
I do.
Like, oh man, look what Mahomes just did. But,
Yeah.
But he did
Oh,
that
yeah.
because I couldn't get to a
Because-
spot where I could catch the ball. For him.
exactly.
I mean, it does fire up your team, and even Brady talked about that. Like Brady talked about him running, and the whole team doesn't want to see him do that. And when they see him do that, they're like, oh, we failed.
Yeah, but
You
they're
know?
like, that was awesome. Like, they get hyped and also feel bad. So, like, let it motivate them to do something better. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that that's a good leader. I think he's showing, like, all right, if you guys can't get it done, because it's not like his first go-to. It's not like he came out of the gates running for third downs tonight. You know, he did it because he had to, because nobody else was doing it. And I think that that's a lot of the Mahomes magic, and we saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, we definitely did. Yeah, that was definitely awesome.
Mahomes got a little bit of Joshy Allen in him. LOL. Yeah, I mean, that's funny, but Josh Allen is a lot bigger. I don't know, what is he, 20, 30 pounds heavier than Mahomes?
Oh,
Josh
yeah.
Allen can take
Maybe 40.
more,
Yeah.
a lot
And
more
like
of a hit than Mahomes.
3 inches taller.
Now, Mahomes' physical, injury issues have never been his shoulder or his arm, right? It's always his leg or his
High
ankle.
ankle
Almost
sprain.
always his ankle.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really bother me when he does it. I mean, it fires me up. I mean,
Right.
all of
Oh,
us
yeah.
were, all three of us were like, oh, and then we were like, careful there,
Yeah, but
Patrick.
also-
Let's calm down there, buddy.
I
But
don't know if I want to see him with a shoulder
he had already
injury.
gotten the first down when he did that, and it's like, man, you could have just.
Was that the one that he got the touchdown?
No.
Okay.
No, he got a first
I mean, I
down.
feel like at this point he's just like, he's so into it. He's just like, he did it once, and now he's like, I can do it again.
All right, what do we got here? I can't read it from there. Let's see. I can read.
If we look at how the Eagles play against the Cowboys and how the Cowboys played against the Giants today, we have a game next week that cannot be overlooked. We play the Giants next week? Is
Yeah,
that-
at this point, I don't think there's any game that can be
Yeah.
overlooked. When you're 0-2, you can't overlook any game. And I don't think that was the problem. I think there were some people that were saying that we overlooked the oh shit, I can't even remember who we played last week because I'm so focused on this week. But we overlooked that team.
Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers. Thank you. We overlooked the Chargers because we knew that we had this rematch, the Super Bowl rematch. And if that's the case, fine. If we beat them by 10 points, all right, I'll take that excuse for the Chargers game. But now, if that's the case, then there's zero excuse. You can't come out and play like this if your focus has only been on this and we overlooked the Chargers team, who were clearly a much better team in week 1 than the Chiefs were.
Well, and you even told the Chiefs last year after we played the Chargers the second time. You said, I'm pretty sure they're going to beat us once next year. And people just, we even made a video about how good the AFC West is. And people just expected to win. Like, we're gonna lose some of these. Like, this isn't Brady, in a horrible, mismanaged division. This is the AFC West. They gave us a little bit of a pass for a few years, but they've been working back quite a bit. And if you think about the Broncos, I mean, what's their coach's name from the Saints?
Sean Payton.
Yeah, he had to work back.
Another Peyton in
with
Denver.
a lot of crap. I mean, they signed Russell Wilson to one of the worst contracts ever. They're just now starting to get out of that dead money, and so they're going to be scary.
only
Chargers
been
are going
gone
to
for a
be
year from
scary,
there.
and as you guys have seen, I called it. I told you the Raiders are going to be good. Nobody listened to me, but.
Yeah, I don't care what you say, man. The Raiders are going to find a way to piss down their own leg. I'm not
Russell
worried.
Wilson played like a god today.
Yeah, he
Just
did,
saying.
man. Russell Wilson played out of his mind today.
So-
That's a whole. Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, maybe it's a franchise that.
But that's who we're
well,
going to be.
but
That's who we're going to be facing.
Russell
next
Wilson
week.
also.
Yeah.
Sean Payton never wanted Russell Wilson. That was,
Yeah,
you got to always talk about it. The mental is one of the biggest parts of the game that everybody makes
Yeah.
fun of me for talking about. But
well, the relationships between the coach and the quarterback and the rest of the
Yeah.
team, and I've heard
100%.
rumors about the way that Russell Wilson is in the locker room. I don't want to go into it because it's nothing I've experienced firsthand. But look, I saw a lot of the Giants game today, and I don't want to get too far and look into next week, but that's
Yeah,
gonna be
we're going to have a
scary game.
whole video come out to talk about that, and we'll have a whole podcast where we actually go back and forth. Me and
Yeah,
Buck.
you guys should come check it out.
But
We're gonna do a lot of research.
bright spots. Okay, so I guess, like I said, I'm not even worried. Like I'm pretty sure we're still going to be in the AFC Championship at 0-2. I'm calling it
Yeah.
now. But the O line looked pretty good. Like in most spots, there was definitely some problems, and the problems were on the side of the line we didn't
The
think
right
they were
side.
Gonna be on.
That's
were,
right.
Yeah, they were.
The
on
Eagles weren't
Trey
even
Smith
attacking
side.
the left side. From the beginning of the game, the Eagles attacked the right side of the line, and it was so confusing to watch. I'm like, do they not understand the problems that we've had on the left? Maybe they saw Josh Simmons, maybe they were watching him during the practice sessions, and maybe they saw him during week 1, and they were like, we're going to attack this other side that nobody else is going to
No,
do.
they saw Simmons. Wait, didn't Simmons?
That was in the third quarter.
Yeah,
He
okay.
chased down the guy that
Yeah.
intercepted the ball in the end zone and saved the touchdown,
That
by
was
the way.
huge.
That was amazing.
I was like, who's that?
He was a defensive back and got run down by a left tackle with a bad knee.
That's what I wanted to bring up. You guys stole my thunder, but it's okay.
You're welcome.
I've been planning it.
We're all equal to the Simmons thing. But I called Simmons. I said when I first saw him at camp, I was like, dude looks like He-Man, and like he came out there like He-Man, and it was just like, wow, dude, unreal.
It was impressive.
Simmons. Yeah, and with the patellar injury, is still able to run that fast as big as he is. I mean,
Like nobody else.
we
was
got,
even
we got a
close.
steal in the draft.
But I was watching him early. Specifically, I was watching the left side because that's what I wanted to focus
That's no
on
problem.
was Kingsley and Josh Simmons, and they looked strong. But the Eagles weren't focusing on that side of the ball at all. So maybe they just looked strong because there wasn't a whole lot of focus on that side of the line. Even early on where I think it was the first sack of Mahomes where we watched the replay because we were like, what happened there? Why, what's going on? And when we watched the replay, Creed Humphrey he was just an extra blocker at the time, and he instinctively went to the left to go help Kingsley on his block, which I don't think Kingsley needed help.
Right.
And then the rush came from the right side. That was the first time there was a real big rush from the right side, and so he wasn't ready for it. But it was almost like Creed wasn't even reading the play. He was just, I know I got to help the left.
Mm-hmm.
I know the right is fine, so that's where I'm going to go. And I don't think the adjustments were made because there were so many times where the Eagles came from the right-hand side.
Yeah.
The whole game was from the right hand. They were blitzing from
Do
the
you-
right. It was
do you
so weird.
Think because I don't always watch
Thank you, Brian.
the line, but do you think that the Eagles were coming from the right-hand side because the left-hand side was kind of locked down?
I think they
Or-
were doing it to confuse the Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the Chargers did to us last week, coming out and passing like crazy when we weren't expecting that at all.
right.
Yep.
Like
It was supposed to be a running game.
Everybody's playing mind games with the Chiefs because the Chiefs. Let's not sugarcoat it. We're on the backs of our heels, and we're especially the team and fans too. We're scared.
Okay, but I'll tell you
And
what.
the
When
team's scared, the fans are scared. Let's
When it comes to mind games-
kumbaya here. We are scared.
Cool.
But
So
the
when
other
when,
team is,
when
too.
it comes to mind games, I'm going to put my money on Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
I think up until 2024, it was mind games. Andy Reid was playing on the entire NFL.
Right.
I mean, he was just
He's
running
playing chess. Everybody else is playing
That's right.
checkers.
And I think some of the NFL is starting to catch up with it now, and maybe they're talking to each other, making little deals on the side or whatever. Let's do this to the Chiefs. And I think it's going to take a little bit of time for Andy Reid to make adjustments. But when it comes to a mind game,
Yeah.
I have no doubt that Andy Reid is going to win the war. Maybe not the battle every time, but
Oh,
he's
yeah,
going to win the
100%.
war.
Dude, so the defensive line is a little bit lacking, right? And I really
Our defensive line?
Yeah, I really need Jones to just know his role at this point and stop lining up at defensive end You
Okay.
are not a defensive end. You never were. The first time you tried to do it, we did bad until you moved back to defensive tackle. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Like, be better. Know your role. Inside pressure is the most important pressure. And yeah, maybe you can get some pressure on the outside, but if that quarterback Joe's out, you're done. You can't catch him. Stop trying with the outside pressure, Jones. Help us out. Help all of our other edge rushers out, and put that pressure in the middle. Stop it.
It didn't screw us like last week.
Right.
So I don't know that everybody saw, the few plays that you were talking about. But yeah, he wasn't getting any pressure at all when he was lining
Do you
up on the
think
end.
his
And he
goal-
never has.
Hold
I'm
on.
telling you,
Do you
go
think
back and
his-
look at film, guys.
Do you think his goal is to get pressure from the outside, or do you think his goal is to bring somebody over to guard him from the outside to allow that other person to get the pressure from the inside?
No, because the smaller guys
that
aren't.
make sense?
Okay, so we employ like 6 defensive ends and like 3 defensive tackles. If he moves out, who's the defensive tackles in the middle? We need big guys in the middle, not on the outside.
I think he moved Karlaftis over, didn't he?
If he moved Karlaftis to the middle, that even pisses me off more. It's just it's silly, and it's been silly since the beginning. He gets his best pressure on the inside, and that's the most important pressure. That makes the rest of the line better.
Sure.
But if he gets pressure on the outside, all the quarterback does is giggle at him as they run by him.
Right.
Like that's the problem, and he doesn't seem to understand. He doesn't seem to get that.
I
And
think this is a Spags thing. I think Spags needs
No,
to.
it's not a Spags thing.
I think Spags needs to take control, though. Right? Like, if it is that bad,
I'll
like
give
if,
you that.
if
This
what
goes
you're
back to our
saying-
conversation last
I'll
week.
give you
Yeah,
that.
like I think if what you're saying is true, then I think Spags needs to step in and be like, Chris.
And it is
Okay,
definitely
well-
You're
true.
done.
They have both talked about it in press
I did not get to
conferences
finish.
multiple
I did
times.
not get to really put the stamp on my point last week. So here's the thing. When it comes to Chris Jones switching over to defensive end, Spags is going to have to be ready to put his foot down. And I don't mean he's going to have to be ready to say those words to Chris Jones, but he's going to have to be ready to put in place some kind of plan of action when Chris Jones decides he's not going to listen.
Right.
When he says, Chris, don't do that again. If you do, I'm taking you out of the game. Then he's got to be prepared to take Chris Jones out of the game when Chris Jones does it again.
Yeah, and
Is that going to hurt the
fans will
team?
riot.
Absolutely. They're going to pound the tables.
Yeah.
Why did he take Chris Jones
But
out
you
of the
know
game
what?
in such a
But
crucial
That's
down?
what needs to happen.
Agree.
Remember how well
But is he
we
ready to
did?
do that? And he knows that's not something he can just do, in the middle of the third quarter
Yeah.
in the second game of the week, or the second game of the season. He's going to have to write down basically a time. Like once we get to week 4, if this is still happening and it's still not benefiting and it's hurting the Chiefs, okay, week 4 is when I'm going to do it. And I'm going to sit down with Chris after week 4. He can't do it in the heat of the moment. He
See, I
can't
think
let
he can.
emotion drive. No, he can't let emotion drive that demand. He's got to strategically make a time. Maybe even sits down with him before he does that. Maybe he sits down with him tonight and says, "Look, man, 2 more weeks of this shit and we can't deal with it anymore. We're going to have a conversation you're not going to want to have."
Right.
And when we have that conversation, Chris, believe me, I know that you're the heart of this defense, but I will sit your ass on that bench.
Yeah.
And Chris is going to have to make a decision at that point because Spags,
I think Spags
once he
might have
makes
said
that
tonight.
once Spags makes that
you see him talking
point,
to him?
he can't back down because if he backs down, Chris Jones
Yeah.
wins and
Yeah,
he gets to
he
do it whenever he
runs the
wants.
defense.
Did you see him talking to him tonight? And Chris Jones was
Yes.
hot. I don't know what that was about, but that might have been something of that might have been a thing. I'm not sure, but
I think Spags needs to give him a warning. And I think Spags needs to say, if you do it again, I'm going to sit you. And it doesn't have to be, I'm going to sit you the entire game.
No,
It can be,
Right.
I'm going to sit you for the rest of this drive.
for the drive, yeah.
And then I'm going to give you another chance. And if you do it again, You're set for
And
the half.
quarter.
Don't
or the quarter.
forget,
Yeah.
last year our best game pressure-wise was the game that Chris Jones was not in. Just remember that. I don't remember the entire stats, but that is a true statement. If
Okay.
I could be off, like it could be like a second best, but it was up there.
Yeah.
Why is this not working? I'm trying
Wait.
to move through the
But
things
you
here.
said something here. Okay.
So this, Jennifer, sorry, but there's no rebuilding a dynasty. Like I mean, if you want to wait 3 years, like I can see, but
I don't think we need to rebuild.
I don't think that's I don't think we need to rebuild at all. I think we need to. Yeah, I don't think we need, dude. I think we have a good team.
Yeah,
I think
we-
guys are like
We are
overreacting.
nitpicking the
we're
the little
nitpicking.
things that this team needs to do to get back to the Super Bowl.
We've barely lost 2 games.
Right, yeah. So we're talking about Kelce being washed up potentially, but we're really nitpicking the little plays that happen, the little things that the Chiefs can do to make better. Do we think that this season is lost? Absolutely not. If that's the point that you're taking out of this podcast, I don't think you're really hearing everything that we're saying. Now
Now,
And
hold
I-
on. I want to throw one more thing on the line
Yeah.
before we move back to that. How about that Omar Norman Lott hit on Hurts, dude?
Oh yeah, the body
Good
slam.
for
That
that
was-
rookie. Good for
that
him,
was so
man.
cool, man.
It was so
and
cool.
I think that's just the first of many great things to come from him. It takes a big, strong man to pick Jalen Hurts up in the middle of a run and slam him down on his ass. And he did that. He did that with authority tonight. And it
Oh,
was
that was so good.
It was beautiful.
It
Yeah.
was so good. He
I'm
didn't
glad
give up
Jalen
on the
Hurts didn't
play.
get hurt on that, honestly.
Oh, yeah,
I
of
really
course.
am. Because that could have been bad. That could have been really bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about this real quick? We didn't hit on this on our last podcast, so we had it in the notes, but we forgot about
We
it.
need to get Tyreek Hill. I think need is a really, really, really strong word here. Would it
Yeah.
be cool right now, going into week 3? I think it'd be great for the short term. But is it good for the long term, Chiefs? I don't know.
No, and I can tell you. So
We can't afford Tyreek Hill.
Let's take money out of it. Let's just say
Okay,
we
so-
can.
I think Tyreek Hill needs us more than we need him.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
true.
really
And
good way to put it.
It's
Yeah.
not because it's not because of like winning or playing or anything. I think we just were able to be dad to Tyreek better than Miami was. Okay, so we watched Tyreek Hill here. Like I shouldn't say, that should say. Let's just say the Chiefs took extra. I can tell you for a fact. I can't tell you why, but the Chiefs took extra precautions to keep Tyreek Hill safe, and the Miami obviously didn't, because him getting pulled over on the way to the game would have never happened in the Chiefs era, because the Chiefs took extra precautions. I can't elaborate on it, but I can tell you that was a fact. So certain players get watched and certain players get, basically chaperoned. And
Well,
yeah,
we should have chaperoned Rice.
like Tyreek needs us more because we helped him out. I don't want him back, honestly, dude. He's going through his 7th domestic abuse allegation, and dude, guys, we've heard the tapes. He has anger problems majorly. Like, I don't want him here. We have a good thing here, and I don't want to bring in a rotten person just to win. And that's where I'm at. Yeah, it would be great if he came. If he came for vet minimum, I'd be like, great. We have, but I'm happy being proud of our guys. Like, even though I'm mad at Chris Jones, he's a great dude. Mad at different players. We have a bunch of great dudes, man. Like, I don't want to bring in. Dude, Tyreek Hill is kind of a piece of shit.
I know we're
man.
not looking at it here yet.
He's
but
kind of a piece of shit.
Brian said Goodell would suspend Cheetah as soon as he got here.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just like, dude, he's obviously got major problems, and I mean,
He would be good for the short term.
yeah, I mean,
Till
he'd be
Rice-
great for the game.
till Rice got
but would he
back.
be good for the locker room?
I
don't
agree.
know,
I don't
man.
I don't like Tyreek
Like,
Hill.
Terrell Owens was awesome, but he was a cancer.
Exactly. Yeah. And we're not suggesting that Tyreek Hill is Terrell
Cancer in the
Owens.
locker room, yeah.
Tyreek doesn't have.
I just want to be proud of my team when we win.
What's the word I'm looking for? The ego. Yeah, as big as Tyreek Hill's ego is, it's not as big as Terrell Owens.
I don't even care about the ego. I care
do.
about
That means a
him
lot in this locker room.
mistreating his children and his wife. Like,
Yeah.
And I when my team wins, I want to be proud of them. Like, I
think we have to be
don't want
careful.
to get bad guys to win the game. Like everybody else, all the other teams paint us as the villains. We aren't. We are Kansas City Chiefs fans. We are Midwest values, good freaking people.
Okay.
And if we bring him back, it just doesn't. See, Hunt coming back. Hunt learned. Hunt changed. Like, I want good people here, man.
He did.
I can't root for, people that are shitty. And Tyreek has obviously not learned his lesson, and I don't want to.
That was my problem when Hunt
I'm
came.
a little emotional.
That's why that was my problem with Hunt coming back. Was I didn't want this horrible human being to be on our team, and of course I wasn't aware of all the changes that he made in his life,
Sure.
and now that
I
he's,
just was because I got him in
Right,
fantasy later
right.
and
so-
followed him a bit.
now since he came back and he's made all these changes, and I'm very, very proud of the progress that he's made as a human being, and now he's on our team. But unfortunately, we missed the great years that he had to offer.
Yeah, but so did he.
Yeah, so did he.
Yeah, and that was
And
his
he was
problem.
behind
But at
Chubb.
this point,
And he was
how old is
punished because
Tyreek?
of that. He was punished because of that.
And he
Tyreek was
changed
not.
because of
Right.
it. Yeah,
Tyreek
Well,
was not
problem.
punished.
Tyreek was not found guilty of that one big major infraction he had while he was here on the Chiefs.
Correct. But Tyreek chose to leave and make more money in Miami, which is
He did.
fine.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
no
which-
problem
No,
with
he
that.
regrets that every night
But he does
before
regret
he goes
that.
to
Let's
sleep.
be
You know he
honest. But
he's got a picture of Patrick by the bed.
Right,
And
yeah.
he just rubs
Yeah.
it like that.
Right above the
Wolverine,
headboard, the
That
Bigfoot.
That Wolverine meme where he's like,
But
I miss you,
Tyreek
Patrick.
is not like Tyreek's coping with his decision of leaving the Chiefs, right? In a way that's like self-destructive. Whereas Hunt had to cope in a way that was like, I need to better myself or I'm not going to have anything,
Yeah.
And I think that's what
hitting rock
pushed
bottom.
Hunt to
Yeah.
maybe make some changes. And I don't know everything about Hunt's personal life. I don't know everything about Tyreek Hill's personal life. So I don't want to make assumptions either. But Tyreek Hill on our team right now, sure, would probably be good. But I don't think it's our receivers. I don't think it's our receiving core and our...
I mean, Tyreek Hill, like I talked about
Yeah.
why he was so
He would
successful.
make a difference.
He'd be a bit of a cheat code, and he is for any team. Although we don't even know that he still has that. He has not really shown that ability I talked about that
He
made
would
him
still
great.
be the number one wide receiver on this team right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
easily.
Yeah. Right now. Yes. But
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Short term, he would definitely help.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
There's a lot of people that would be the number
I
one
don't
wide
know that
receiver on
he's-
our team, though.
I just don't know that he's worth it. But Buck wanted to read this one here.
This is a great one by Stanley here. Let's face it, we have been teaching teams how to play the last 9 or 7 years. So other teams have been evolving while we're still doing the same thing. We have to bring in the ability to run to open it up. Absolutely. I think the NFL is catching up to Andy Reid and the way that he coaches his football team and the way that these teams play on the field.
I think when we lost Eric Bieniemy, and worst take I ever had in Chiefs history was doubting Bieniemy. I think we've devolved. We haven't not evolved. We've devolved because Eric Bieniemy forced us to run and forced us to practice it. And tonight we tried to run, but we ran at the wrong times. I mean,
I don't know that that's
Not
true.
the whole time,
I don't
but
know that that's true.
some of the biggest runs, the 3rd and 16 running.
Yeah, but I
what
think
was
we're
the point of
We're
that?
focused on that, and Eagles did that too.
Yes,
so,
they
like,
did.
yeah, but
Several
they have
times.
Saquon.
I
Buck
know.
pointed out.
No,
right,
I
we don't
pointed
have
that out.
Saquon.
But
Oh, was it you? Sorry.
But I'm just saying, like, I feel like we ran much more this game than we have in the past. So let's kudos to that. That
Okay.
we did
Give it a
adjust.
try. Yeah, give
that
it
we
a
did
try.
adjust, and we
It didn't fail.
And
it just
we
didn't
did
do,
have-
Didn't fail.
We didn't do great.
We did have a couple plays that it actually behooved us quite a bit because
Right.
it was play action.
And I think the biggest thing is that whether the run's successful or not, we need to keep doing it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's
And
what
that's
we
what
did.
Eric Bieniemy said constantly.
And that's what we did, though, tonight. Now, not extensively, let's be real. But I think we're also, the last couple games, we've been playing from behind. So keep that in mind, too, with the number of run attempts that we have, right?
And Tyler, I think Tyler, you're kind of new here. We've talked about Matt Nagy to a lot of extent, and I don't think that he's not capable of doing his job, preparing the offense for Andy to go over and say, okay, this is good. Like, I mean, but the difference between Matt Nagy and Eric Bieniemy is literally just one thing.
No.
It's no. Yeah. Saying no. Saying, Andy, I don't agree. And I don't think Nagy probably has ever said that to Andy in the entire time they've been together. I think Matt
You think
Matt
he's a yes
Nagy.
man?
Yes, he's a definite yes
absolutely
man,
he's a
and
yes man.
he idolizes Andy. Whereas I
Not just
honestly
Andy
think-
though, Mahomes too. I think I think Bieniemy wasn't afraid to go up to Mahomes and be like, "Hey, man, this
Which
is
we
stupid."
saw. Mahomes got pissed
They
at
got
him.
heated at each
Yeah.
other, and that's not because they were sharing cookie recipes on the
Yeah.
sideline.
And
it's
that's not
because
a bad
Mahomes did
thing.
something that Bieniemy didn't like, whether it ended up being a good thing for the Chiefs or not.
Taking him out of the game.
What was that?
I think it was him taking him out of the
No,
game.
that was Andy. That was Andy. When he took him
yeah.
out of the game, he was like, "Hell no, no, no!" That was. I don't think Bieniemy was going
And
to
then
be
he
able to take him out of the game.
He jogged back to the locker room like, "This is fine."
Yeah, and
he
you
was like,
know
oh
it.
My
Yeah,
God, this
every
hurts so
step
bad.
hurts so bad. But he was like, "I'm proving you wrong." That's. I mean, that's the kind of toughness I want in my leader.
that's
for
I mean,
sure.
That's definitely
Heck yeah.
why we love him. But
Yep.
Bieniemy wasn't scared to say, "No, I don't think so," and just really be just annoying to Andy. Like, we need to run, and Andy's like, "Will you shut up?" You know, like, I mean, that's
Yeah.
honestly what it
So,
it probably was like.
I think Matt Nagy would be a much more effective offensive coordinator on a team that had a head coach that was much more introspective and willing to look in on his own self. I think Andy Reid has almost, at this point in his career, he knows what he's capable of and what he can do, calling plays and knowing his personnel, that he almost trusts himself too much. And Bieniemy was that guy that could come in and be like, no, hold up.
Yeah.
You're trusting yourself too much. Whereas Matt Nagy will just do what Andy
Sure.
says because Andy is the football god, which he absolutely is. But so Matt Nagy would do better on a team with, maybe somebody like Dan Campbell or somebody that's, not as proven, willing to see his own faults, willing to look at his own self in the mirror a little bit more than Andy.
I think
and
Matt Nagy-
well, here, let me just throw this in there. And I think Matt Nagy, I don't know that it's his fault. I think Matt Nagy goes someplace else and he does better telling another coach what to do. But I think since Reid, basically, I mean, Reid gave Nagy his first QB coaching job with the Chiefs, and Matt Nagy's even talked about on the Chiefs documentary. He talked about Alex Smith taught him a ton of stuff. When Alex came here, that was Matt Nagy's first job too, and he was the QB coach. And Matt Nagy, he said himself, he was kind of clueless, and Alex Smith helped him learn his job. Matt Nagy, I feel like he just, like, can you imagine talking to Big Red? That's got to be an intimidating thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
And especially if Big Red gave you your start, and like you're gonna tell him your opinions, but you're never gonna go,
No, you're
Dad,
wrong.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and he really is dad to him instead of, uncle or brother or, you know what I mean?
Now,
tell
the
my-
enemy
I
played
tell
the
my
game
dad
and worked
he's
his
wrong.
way up through the coaching.
I tell my dad he's
ranks.
wrong all the time.
Yeah,
So
but
that's,
but
that's,
you're
and that's my
different.
point.
I'm kidding, I'm
you grew
kidding.
well. Hold on. That's my point, though. So you grew up with your dad, and you know your father, and you've got an intimate relationship with him, where you feel comfortable telling him, "Dad, I know you taught me everything that you know, but I think you're wrong on this." Whereas Nagy got his start, let's say as a foster kid for Andy Reid.
Never had a dad.
And right, exactly. And now he's got a dad that's so damn smart that
you
he's
guys,
like,
you guys,
yeah,
this, is
that
not,
was good.
this
That was
metaphor
a good one,
is
dude.
not
That was a really good
tracking.
one.
Okay, here's the thing, though. I want to jump back real quick to your statement about Matt Nagy saying he learned a lot from Alex Smith, because I want to, give props to Matt Nagy for being the type of coach that does continue to learn and feel like everybody has something to bring to the table too, and doesn't go in there like, I'm supposed to be the boss, so I'm gonna be the boss.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
I think
Matt
that's
Nagy's
great. Right. And I'm not saying you weren't. I just want to clarify my thoughts on that. I also think, I started in my job with a boss that was very much, I don't know, very
Established?
good at her job and very established. And I was terrified of her.
intimidated.
So was
Terrified.
I didn't even work for her.
But she molded me and grew me, and
And made you more confident.
yes, and the reason that we worked so well together towards the end was because I wasn't that yes man. I was the person that said, no, what about this? Or we can't do that. It's because of this. And that's the reason that she respected me so much, is because I could push back.
And maybe Matt can do that.
So when
Right.
when people ask, is Matt Nagy the problem, then I would have to say no. Matt Nagy is definitely not the problem. If people perceive Matt Nagy as being the problem because he can't tell Andy no, then by nature Andy would be the problem.
I don't know if that's true, though.
Because he's calling things based on what he really wants this offense to be rather than what this offense actually is. And he's making his decisions based on that belief rather than reality. Bieniemy had the ability and confidence to say, no, you're wrong. We need to go with this. And Andy took that and said, okay, you're right. Let's see where this goes. And we got the 2019 Chiefs. Now we have
Andy
Nagy.
needs somebody.
Right. And now Nagy is the guy saying, yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. You're right, sir. When Andy is probably stepping over his confidence a little bit.
And Andy,
So Nagy's not the problem. Reed is the problem.
it's kinda like-
the enemy was the antidote.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like a
it's
both
like-
thing, though, right? Like, Nagy's not the problem, but he's also not the solution.
Yes.
Reed is not the problem, but he has the wrong person to be the solution.
Okay.
yeah,
All
and
right.
that's.
Yeah, I
I
like
mean,
it.
honestly, the best leaders surround themselves with no men or no people, people who will fight back. My
People are better than them, to be honest. In
Yeah,
in a certain area, I want to hire you because you're
You
better
are the
at this
expert
job
at this
than me,
and I'm
I
not.
can lead
Yeah.
all of you together as a community. but I
even if they're not,
can't do everybody's job.
even if you are the same expert, you want to hire somebody who can challenge you.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and I think Reed probably knows that too, but he's not going to fire Nagy either. Nagy
Because
needs
Nagy's
to
a great
get-
guy.
Yeah, and Nagy
Well,
needs to get
and
a job before Andy's.
And we've been to
Andy's,
two, we've been to
Andy's-
multiple Super Bowls with Nagy.
To
So
a-
it's how bad is it in his mind, right? I think in our mind we understand a little bit better, but in his mind he's like, how do I justify
I think he's just
firing
loyal.
Nagy?
I think he's just.
He is
the
loyal,
only
yeah.
reason Jawan Taylor started at right tackle tonight is because he's loyal and he gives people chances far past when they should have.
Jawan
chances.
Taylor did not do a bad job at all today.
He did have a couple penalties.
One, I think, right?
I think it was just. I think it was
Just the one.
I think-
And it was
Every
holding. It
time-
wasn't offsides.
Every time I hear his name, though, I'm just like, no.
I know, but he did good. But that's what he kind of did last season, too.
I kind of want to hit on this. Brian Parent's very angry, but
Kelce has declined 60% since Taylor entered the picture.
Oh my
He ain't this old.
gosh.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I love you, Brian. I do. I absolutely love you, man. You're one of my favorite people. You make me laugh all the time. But I think this just isn't accurate. I think this is an emotional reaction to Kelce having a couple of bad plays. Let's not forget the positive plays that he had today. Let's not forget the positive that he had last week. The problem is
Stop
the
blaming
negative.
Taylor.
His two targets that he didn't catch were just so heavy and so important in the game at such a crucial time that it looks, it skewed our memory of the game.
And
See,
that's
I'm
going to
gonna-
happen because Kelce is the person that that Mahomes goes to in those crucial times.
I'm not saying Kelce's not done.
I'm gonna.
There is a definite possibility that Kelce's best days and good days are behind us. And we have seen the best of Kelce, and he's going to be a fill-in at best till we can find somebody else that can fill that role. But I'm not ready to buy into that yet. I'm not.
I'm not either.
I feel like you are.
I'm just gonna go by the stats, and dude, Brian says a lot of things that, quite
Brian is
frankly,
bold.
piss me off. Like telling me like fire Andy, and I'm like, I will come
Fire-
to your
fire
house.
Andy
I know
Heck,
where you
yeah.
live, Brian. But I can't disagree with him here. There is you could look at
So
it.
you are ready to
stat-wise.
jump
Let
off
me
the Kelce
finish.
train.
No,
I think that's what he's saying.
no. Okay.
60%?
Yeah. Literally, you could look at it stat-wise. Since Taylor Swift happened, Kelce has not been Kelce. I mean, he was Kelce 3 times when she first showed up to a game. This dude is love struck. Yes, I will. I can't argue with
he
that.
definitely is love struck.
And I've been love struck in my life before, and nothing works right
Yes.
until
Everything changed the minute you came into
Yeah.
Bob's life, and I can
Un-
attest to that.
He
until
declined
you have
60%.
secured that. Until you have secured that mortgage, loan, whatever you call it, because you're always paying. I'm just letting you guys know. But until you have secured that, and gotten it to where she loves you enough that she's not going to leave you, even though you're horrible and you take your thing over her.
I knew that a long time ago.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Basically, I've seen it too. Ever since Taylor came into the picture, Travis hasn't been as good on the field, and that's actually a fact.
Okay, I think.
And it was night and day from, he was literally the best tight end in the NFL, and then he went to just, top 5.
Okay.
Literally,
Top 5 is still pretty good.
yes, it's pretty good.
Especially
but
at
you
his
don't
age.
fall to that.
Are we gonna get top 5 out of him this season?
You don't fall to that in 4 weeks.
Okay.
And it was literally when he started with Taylor, that happened, and I can't disregard Brian's.
What if we get top 5 tight end play from Travis Kelce this season? Are you happy with that?
'Cause-
Brian, are you happy with that? Because I'm happy with that.
Okay, let me say something. though.
I'm sorry,
We're
yeah,
not
please.
talking about happy with that. We're talking about a cause and effect, and I think Brian is actually accurate completely here.
All right, let's hear what Mel
It
has
is
to
a
say.
cause and effect.
I think that, yes, I will give you last year. I think Travis Kelce had himself spread way too thin. I think he was traveling a lot. He was trying to secure his relationship and his NFL career, and I think he was kind of struggling at both, right? And that's what you find. When you spread yourself too thin, you don't do anything really, really great, but you do everything pretty okay, right? And that's the worst feeling in the world.
Okay.
Right? But I also think that Travis made a big effort this offseason to get in shape and get ready.
100%.
And realized his downfalls last year, which, to be fair, last year he was not supposed to be as involved in the offense
Right.
as we needed him
That's
to
right.
be.
Absolutely.
So I think it's unfair to say that now, because we asked him to do a trillion times more than he was expected to do initially, now without Taylor, would he have been ready to do that? Sure, maybe. But he's also getting older. Okay.
Let me ask you this: do we have the same reaction if? And I don't know if you guys all remember the stats and how it all went down tonight, but he was 4 catches, 6 receptions.
Mm-hmm.
One was a Kadarius Toney bobble that caused an interception right at the goal line, and then one was where he got his hands on it and it fell. Right, those were his last 2 targets. He caught the first 4 balls, right, and then dropped the last 2. What if we had reversed that? What if the first 2 targets had been bobbled and those things happened at the beginning of the game, but then those other 4 receptions that he had and the way that he played those, would your perception of today's game be the same? Mine would definitely not, because the 4 reception, especially that one play where he stiff-armed that dude
I know.
twice. He looked.
I was like,
he looked
okay,
5 years younger. He looked
okay.
better than on any play that
Yes.
he had last season.
Yes.
I think, and he's getting fired up and he's getting pissed off on the sideline. Last week we know because it was Jawan Taylor. This week we're not really sure why yet. But to me, that tells me that his heart is still in the game, and he has a love for this team and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and this game that they can't be broken. Taylor Swift is in the picture, fine. He loves her.
We love her.
That's another thing that he has to worry about. But you can say the same for Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
If he didn't have 3 kids and a wife right now, his play on the field would be different.
Right.
His whole focus in life would be different. He's doing the best that he can as a father of 3 and still a newlywed. I mean, he hasn't been married 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? So
I agree. I think we're taking this out of proportion because of the.
Yes.
And I will
I think
say
you guys are
the
taking it to a different
one-
argument, though. The argument is his play went down, and
last year.
So what?
Last year,
Every
his
NFL player's play is going to go down or is going to change when he meets a significant
when
other.
they're in love and,
Nope.
and they're love struck.
The
Yeah,
Last
reason we
year-
didn't notice it with Mahomes is because he had Brittany in high school.
yeah. Well,
He's been
and-
with her the whole time, so nothing changed.
Yeah, but Travis Kelce is dating the most popular woman
Yes.
in the world.
And last year, his play did suffer
whole new
because of it.
world. Piece of-
But it
a new
wasn't.
fantastic point
You don't.
of view.
You don't think that the effort that he put in the offseason and the
No,
commitment
I
that
think
he's
it
made
is,
this
and
year.
I think
you,
she's supporting that.
you
Definitely.
You really think this year he is going to be a 60% Travis Kelce after what we saw tonight with the 1 or 2 bad plays that we saw, but the other really excellent plays.
No, I think, dude, you're taking. I agreed with Brian's point that his play went down
Last year.
as soon as she came into the picture. Before last year, his play went down as soon as she came into the picture. That's all. I think she's not on tour this year. Travis isn't having to travel to multiple countries, but be between every game. I think she's like completely supporting him now. Like, I don't think it's a problem. I don't think that's the problem with Kelce right now. But I just had to agree with Brian. She definitely was the voodoo, I can't say that. That was a Johnny Dare thing. I'm not going to do it. But, yeah, women can definitely change. You're a woman, like, you don't.
I am
Men,
a woman.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah. Men can be not obsessed, like not like obsessed over like following a girl, but they could definitely lose that drive because
So can women.
now the most important thing to you in the world is no longer football.
Right.
It's now you. And like I dealt with that when I met you. You know,
And
it's
to be fair,
and I wasn't.
let's all get behind Travis because that's very healthy, especially for at his age when he knows his football career is coming to an end
Yes,
anyways.
but
like, can we
stop
just give
being
him?
so angry
I know,
about
but
it.
can we just give him a little clap here?
Hey man, I'm totally happy for him. I'm totally happy for him. But that doesn't change how we need to talk about him in the game. And I think she's supporting him, but I think I think now he's trying too hard, and he's looking away before he catches the ball. Like he's making rookie mistakes because he's trying too hard to get back to what he was. He needs to just like focus back on the basics.
Okay, I think I kind of understand what you're saying. So last year, I think last year was kind of a symptom of the Taylor Swift effect, whereas not because he was focusing so much on her that his play suffered, but his focus was on so many different things that he wasn't able to focus 100% as a football player.
And he was literally traveling with her.
Right, he was.
Like, you know,
and so
all
things
the
just
time.
kind of happened. But this year, I think he made a decision in the offseason that he was going to focus on football, and I believe
And she
100%.
obviously supports that. She's in the kitchen baking bread for
Right,
him.
and
so
I
he's
don't,
ready.
I don't think that
Like,
his inadequacies tonight had anything to do. I'm not going to put that on Taylor Swift whatsoever. It's at that point, it's his age,
No.
and he is trying too hard to
It's
prove.
never been on Taylor though. It's on Travis.
Okay,
even what
okay.
I was talking about is not on. It's not on.
So
Taylor.
last year wasn't-
It's because
wasn't on-
Travis was in
Semantics.
love.
Right.
You know how this goes.
You're right. You're right. So it was on Travis, but it was
Everything
because
else-
of Taylor.
But how?
Right.
Yeah.
How many different times?
But
over
fans
our
are gonna blame that on Taylor.
25-year friendship. Did you meet a girl and I didn't see you for 6 months?
Never once.
Never once, huh?
Okay.
Exactly. You see
Next.
where I'm coming. Next question, please.
Next.
But that's the truth of it,
You're
man.
right, you're right.
We
Okay.
like
That's a good
we
point.
are creatures of. Yeah,
I'm just saying, I don't think tonight
We-
was at all. If you want to blame what happened last season on Taylor
100%.
Swift and what
I'm with
he,
you.
what she contributed, and kind of what happened to Travis Kelce's life while they met and started courting, I just think that he had a renewed focus on football this offseason.
Definitely.
So the things that he is having an issue with on the field right now is not a Taylor
He's
Swift
trying to make
issue.
up for what he
He's
did
trying to
last
make
year.
up. He's not just trying to play 100% this season. He's trying to play 100% and make up for what he wasn't able to do last season. And if he just kind of calmed down and just did his job, I
And-
think we would all be.
Yeah, and
I think he would be a lot more successful.
He's trying to be a leader on the off,
What we get
like on the sidelines, like saying like everybody needs to, everybody needs to, shape it up, blah blah blah, right? Like, and like he needs to just concentrate. He was never really a leader on the field. He was an educator to new people, but he never really was a leader on the field. He was an educator to new people, and that's what he should stick to, and stick to doing what he's good at. He doesn't need to be a leader. Leaders just come, like they're just there. It's a thing. Like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. But hey, Buck and Bob take on Chiefs Kingdom, give out 5 memberships, guys.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to be
Wait,
putting out
am I
a
supporting
members-only
you?
video
Yes.
next
Now you're sporting us.
this
wait, oh.
this week, and then we're going to be doing a first members-only live stream this coming Saturday. So
Yeah,
just,
6 days.
watch out for that. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 days.
So yeah, I just found out I could give out like a certain amount. I could give out 10 a month free.
Oh,
From
nice.
the Buck and Bob account.
Nice.
I paid for it on my other account the other day. Oh, it's funny. But yeah, so what else do you guys I think I got it through all my last thing in my notes.
I had one more thing.
I'll
You
just
go ahead.
say
Yeah.
I'll say Nico looked great in the return game, but that wasn't really what I wanted.
Also, the catch that
Yeah,
I
the
feel
one
like
catch.
got Mahomes kind of back on track.
Yes.
Like
that
I
was
feel
a
like the
pivotal catch.
momentum from that catch was huge.
And he was wide open. He wasn't covered at all. They
And it was
completely
a
ignored
perfect,
him.
It was a perfect catch.
They absolutely
Or a perfect throw.
They treated Remigio like he was a scarecrow on the field, like he was a warm body
Mm-hmm.
out there, and Mahomes found him. And it was a great throw, and it was a great catch. And right now, while we have this wide receiver issue, I think Remigio could be a great little addition. Maybe work him in a
Sprinkle
little bit
here
more.
and there.
Yep, and then the other thing was, dude, Cook is cooking. Like Cook seems back all last year.
Cook had a great day.
I gave him shit about not being able to change direction, and it was, I think, because of his injury. Cook looks back. Cook's cooking. Like, and that was the last thing I had in my notes. I'm sure there's other stuff, but Cook's cooking. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I overall want to give the defense some props tonight because I was terrified of how they were going to look after last week. Like
Yeah, me
last
too.
week was
Ugly.
so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, they can't. I don't even know if we have cornerbacks, to be honest, last week. And this week, they not only had to be more conscious of the run because it wasn't just Barkley, it was Hurts too,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
They did a pretty good job of
they
containing
kept
Hurts.
Barkley to 88
most part.
yards, which is great. Like, great job. He had some good runs, but, like, great job. They kept Hurts to 101 yards. Yeah, I know. We still lost the game, but that's really good.
101 yards passing and 15 yards rushing.
Yeah.
If you looked at that stat line
Like,
from a
that's-
defense, you would expect a win from that.
Yeah, 100%. The
And I mean,
defense
we
didn't.
were close to winning, very close, in many different ways.
The defense didn't lose it, and they, like, I know there was a lot of criticism before about, do you stop Barkley and just let them pass? Do you stop Barkley and let Hurts kind of go all over? Like, that was a lot of the conversation before the game, right? Because that's what the Super Bowl was. It's like, we stopped Barkley in the Super Bowl, but we didn't stop anything else.
Right, yeah.
And this time I felt like we had a really great balance of stopping everything with moderation, right?
Well, and Jennifer Matthews seems to think the defense was okay, but couldn't stop Saquon, really. We stopped Saquon.
Yeah,
I mean,
88
not in the
yards.
pivotal moments, though, man. He had that one touchdown that was killer.
rough, yeah.
That was
Sure. But if it
was
wasn't,
taking the heart.
That one.
yeah, and I
80
feel like
yards isn't nothing.
I mean, we're talking about the guy that
It's not
that
nothing,
does
but
a
it's not
s-
100.
A spin
When-
move
when it's
and
almost
then
half of
jumps
their
and does
offense.
the splits over top of a defender and comes
Backwards.
Down. Yeah,
Backwards.
Yeah. I said in the middle of a spin move, jumps and does the splits over the top of a defender. This is a man that is a god among men.
yeah,
Like,
I'm
I
saying
mean,
that
we
you
held
could
him to what
keep
we held him
you
to.
could keep Barkley to 88 yards and Hurts to 101 passing yards and 14 rushing yards. Like that
Yeah,
is
Jennifer, you're right. He got through it some points. We definitely gave you
yeah,
that.
he did. And those are frustrating, but those should be happening on both sides, right? Like we should be getting plays that are very frustrating to them too. And we had a couple, but not as many
not
as
as
I'd like.
many. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, they were clutch when they needed to be, and that's why they won the game.
Well, how much longer do you guys want to stay here? We've been going for 2 hours.
I'm good.
Have we
I'm
really?
pretty sure we're the longest Chiefs podcast that there is. I don't think anybody goes as long as we do, and I think that's
Is that a
because
good thing?
Stamina,
they
baby.
don't care as much as we do, and
That's
we
right.
actually talk about it. We get intricate. This is where you come for the no bullshit, where you come for the non-filler, and you know I feel like that's what we do here.
I
And,
have one more point.
Well,
No,
should
you're
we
good.
take that before we take this
Yeah,
one?
yeah. No, go ahead and read that first.
Let's take. So, if anybody wants to get a last question,
I
in,
love me some
Make
Stanley
sure
Mooney.
put a question mark in front so we can see it. We're gonna take this one, but Buck has one last take.
So there were two plays specifically that kind of back up my point here. There was that 3rd and 16 where we decided to run for some ungodly reason, and then the Travis Kelce, Kadarius Toney play where he bobbled it and the ball was intercepted. That was a 2nd and goal. We were on the 6-yard line, right? Yeah. Don't even.
TT,
yeah, no.
TT,
Let's
Travis
not do that to Travis. He does not deserve that kind of disrespect. Sorry. Okay, it was 2nd and goal on the 6. That play and the 3rd and 16. If you're looking at the 2018 through 2023 Chiefs, a 3rd and 16 was nothing. When we saw 3rd and 16 with Patrick Mahomes back there,
we were like, yeah, it could happen.
that was. It's not just it could happen. It's probably gonna happen, and it did on 60 to 70% of the plays, which is absolutely statistically it's ridiculous, right? Those days are gone. A 3rd and 16 is a nail-biting play for us. It's a 3rd and 16. They decided to run it with Kareem Hunt, an aging running back. They don't even believe that Patrick Mahomes can pull that magic. Maybe it's because the receiving core tonight. Maybe it's because Reed just doesn't believe in this offensive line anymore, although I'm starting to believe in the offensive line a little bit more. And then on that 2nd and goal on the 6, I don't care if it's 4th and goal on the 6. 2019 Chiefs, that's a touchdown 95% of the time. And now we're biting our nails, and Travis Kelce is bobbling that ball for a touchdown to go the other way. That was a huge point swing. HD Chiefs fan said way earlier in the chat, that was a 12 or 14 point a point swing. That was the difference in the game right there. And Travis Kelce is going to be he's going to have a hard time falling asleep tonight. He's going to be laying in bed thinking about that unless he goes out, gets hammered, and can just pass out.
But I will say 3rd and 16 is such a nail biter for us right now, but so is 3rd and 6.
Yeah, but
which I think is the bigger problem, right? It's not that we can't make the big plays. It's like we don't trust ourselves to make
mediocre plays.
The even plays.
Also the
and the red zone. Yeah.
too.
For sure.
I think that the problem is a residual effect of last season, and Patrick Mahomes still does not trust this offensive line.
He doesn't.
But I'll say for the offensive line's back, I'm going to get their back here. I think they played way better. I mean, Josh Simmons is going to be the answer. I'm convinced at this point. He is going to be the answer. And
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!
Kingsley at left guard has a lot to learn, but he is doing at guard this season what I had hoped he would do at tackle last season. He's not playing great, but he's playing good enough, and he's going to learn.
Gonna get better.
He's going to get better.
And he's a freak of nature.
And then later in the season, Humphreys, like on that one play where it was the very first sack I think they got on Mahomes, where we were surprised where the rush came from the right instead of the left, and Humphreys instinctively helped with the left, is going to be able to make a choice at that point. Look, I see the rush coming from the right, rather than just thinking he's always got to help the left side out. And so I think that even though we took a loss tonight, I think that the Chiefs, I know we learned a lot. I hope that the Chiefs coaching staff learned a lot from tonight's game. And I'm hoping that Patrick Mahomes learned a lot from tonight's game. I hope that he can look at the tape and realize the strides, the progress that the offensive line, especially the left side of the offensive line, made.
And he's going to watch that tape, and he's going to see.
He will.
And he's going to say, okay, I need to calm myself down.
Yeah.
I need
the happy feet can go away.
I need to let it go. And I need to be okay with getting sacked
once
a couple
in a while.
times because I trust them and it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there are
Every
going to be
once in a
times
while.
it happens with everybody, but it was happening every play with us last year.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
Mahomes had happy feet a lot tonight when he had no business having
reason
happy
to.
feet. He
Yeah,
had
yeah.
so much time in the world. I hate that term, happy feet, but it
I
is
know.
what it is. Even though Bob hates, it is what it is.
Oh, I hate this take, dude.
do you
Daniel
say?
Longstaff
I can't read it. Go ahead.
says, "Hey guys, just wanted to say that our offense blew every chance and opportunity in this game, and coaching is also to blame for the loss. I would agree with these things. This last part, I don't agree with at all. Pacheco should have 27 carries. He had 10.
That would have given him about 60 yards in offense and 2.2 yards per carry.
I'll give you Hunt should have had 20 carries, not 27. We aren't that type of team. Like we only have one run killer, and that's Trey. Maybe Suamataia will be that.
Will develop.
Yeah, he's definitely a monster on the run blocking, but that's just two guards. Like we've built our line on pass protection, and I think we need to run more. But 27 carries, I think, is a little absurd. I mean, not even some of the biggest rushing teams do that anymore. That's Marty ball. If you want that. You're living in the past.
Saquon had 22 rushes tonight.
I think we almost doubled our rushes
and he's
tonight.
the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah, we almost doubled our
Second best.
rushes tonight, which is a huge improvement.
It is.
And I think that's very that is a very good positive. I know our rushing didn't seem like it was epic, but I think it opened up our passing. And I think that's why we saw Hollywood getting open and we saw all of these other things. So that's where I'm at.
Yep. And then, big fan of Josh Simmons, dude. Josh Simmons is a gamer, man. He is a gamer. He is a player. He cares, man.
He is a gamer.
Running down that tackle, he saved it. Like, I mean,
I want a Josh Simmons jersey.
And a left
I love
tackle.
that man.
They're usually fat.
Tackle.
He's He-Man. He's
Cornerback.
Freaking He-Man.
Ran him down.
Dude,
You know, I want to
this is nuts.
say, because I know that sometimes we just kind of abruptly stop the podcast. Before we do, Jennifer Matthew
I'm just
has
kidding.
made. Listen, we're usually a lot better at keeping up with the chat because both of us or all three of us will have access to chat tonight. We only have one person that can access. Jennifer, you have had a lot of really good takes tonight. You've had a lot of takes I don't agree with. You've had a lot of takes that I do agree with. You've had some really funny takes. Patrick did everything he could, and then the next one was except give Kelce the boot. I mean, I don't agree, but I think that's hilarious. So thank you very much for your interaction tonight. We really appreciate it, and we're not ignoring it.
Yeah.
It's just really hard
Jennifer
when all three
Matthew,
of us. And my
we
eyes
love
are
it.
so bad I can't see it on there, so I'm looking at it on my phone. So it's,
and you see me, I'm like reached out here trying to
It's a little awkward.
do the stuff, but yeah, we love it. We don't think our shit doesn't stink. We literally make
Very professional.
We
Pro, baby.
make fun of the takes at the start of the show, saying we aren't fancy analysts, but we have just as many bad takes because everybody has bad takes, good takes. You don't know they're good till later. You don't know they're bad till later. That's the fun of talking about it, and it seems like you're a good sport. So we have been happy to have you in chat. I'm glad the bots.
I've read everyone. We
you
just can't discuss everyone. That's all.
Yeah, but yeah, you've been cool. We appreciate it. We love just getting challenged. And so that's great. But
Brian said something. Hold on.
yeah, we're trying to catch up.
Menahue is garbage.
Aww.
I mean,
Menahue
made
that. Dude, he made that freaking
That offsides?
face. Well, that face mask, and then
That was credited to somebody else.
yeah, and then I saw him throw a punch right
that
after
he
that.
didn't get called for.
And I did, yeah, and they didn't show it again on they showed the next replay of the face mask, but they didn't show he went into dude, stop it, 90, stop it, seriously.
Yeah, I don't agree that he's garbage. However, tonight he hurt the team more than he helped.
Yeah, I think
Cannot
he's,
disagree with you there, Brian.
I think he's good, but I think he has
I love your takes, though.
He's a classic narcissist.
Don't
Thinks
stop
everything.
with your passion, buddy.
Don't stop
believe
believing.
in. I've got a shirt like that.
Hold on to that feeling, yeah.
Is that Damien?
Street light.
What?
Oh, no.
People.
I saw a D.
All right, but I did want to
And
hit
it was
this
blue.
before we
It wasn't.
jet out of here.
Don't worry.
Mel, can you read that?
Yeah, hot take that will be talked about on Sunday Night Football next week. Chiefs have never in history won at Giants Stadium. We have
It's
to
sad 'cause
change
it's
that.
true.
I know no one wants to hear that, but that will be fuel for the Giants.
And
Well, that's-
fuel for the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't
So
aware
when
of
was the
that.
last time we
Yeah.
played the Giant? Like, how many
Well,
times have we played the
in
Giants?
the history of the NFL.
That's a bad question to
we've
ask when we
never
haven't
won
prepped
there.
for it.
And we only play the Giants once every 4 years because we haven't they haven't been good.
And it's not
recently.
always at their stadium. Sometimes it's here.
Right.
Yep, exactly. So there's not a lot of games there, but it is true. The team has never won there ever. I think that'll be a big talking point, and yeah, I think the Chiefs can. I think the Chiefs could use it to rally with each other, but at the same time, we're starting to see like the Cowboys almost beat the Philly last week. I know it's a divisional game, so you can't really take it apples for apples. But then, Cowboys play the Giants, who we thought was going to be crap. But we did know the Giants have an incredible defensive line. So it's going to be another test for this Chiefs offensive line.
And
But
the
I don't
receivers look
think-
good today, too.
I don't think the team itself is as well coached. I think even though it pains me to admit it, the last two games we played have been well coached teams, and it pisses me off to have to say Nick Sirianni's a good coach because he's a piece of shit human being. But he is a good coach, and you just have to admit that, and it's the truth. But I don't think we have that type of coaching problem on the Giants side. So all I can say is that the Chiefs, traditionally in the history of the Chiefs, don't do good when a different quarterback comes in. So I hope,
ain't that the truth?
this isn't the game. They're like, all right, put the rookie in, because at that time I'm just going to be like, all right, we've lost.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
no
that is
shit.
so true.
It really is.
But-
It's so true. Look at the history of the Chiefs
Okay.
and backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no.
Can I just point out that we have not lost to the Giants at all since Mahomes has been here.
So what, have we played them twice?
Once. We
Once.
played them in 2017, which
Here.
Mahomes wasn't.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah,
would have
but
been.
here.
No,
The whole point
2017 was at the Giants, and we lost, but Mahomes wasn't
Right.
playing. And then we played him in 2021.
No, the Chiefs
Here,
the
and we
Chiefs,
won.
The Chiefs franchise have never won in that stadium.
Yeah, no, she said in 2021 we played them here.
Saying,
Oh, okay. Here.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm saying
I thought you said
Mahomes
there.
has never
Yeah,
lost.
it was Alex Smith in 2017, and we lost.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I am scared that this is when they pull the trigger on the rookie quarterback. And
Yeah,
Spags
we don't
isn't
do well
ready
with
for
that.
that. So that's the only thing I'm scared out there. But
It's fine.
honestly, I'm telling you, I still think we're fine going 0-3. I'm not going to be worried. We go 0-4, I'll be worried.
Me being worried is going to be more of a function of how they play in the losses
Agreed.
rather than if they win or lose.
Well, that's
if they
why
play
I'm
like
not
shit
worried.
in a win against the Giants, I would be less confident than if they played really good and just lost to a better team against the Giants. So
Well,
that's really what it comes down to for
And
me.
that's why I'm not worried. Like, we played the Chargers, who made the playoffs last year in a division that the Chiefs dominated. They made it. Also, Broncos made it. We lost to them by one score. We lost to the Eagles, supposedly the best team in the NFC, the Super Bowl champions, even though they've lost like half their defense. But
We're not cooked,
supposedly
Brian.
the best team. Tell that to the Lions today, who just torched everybody. But yeah, so the Eagles, best team NFC, one score and really faulty calls, like across the board. And yeah, I
We're just not going to
I
lose.
think
How
we're
about we
fine.
leave it there?
I think we're fine.
We're good.
All right. Do we have any last questions that look good? Do you see any?
No.
No.
Well, Mel, you always say that.
I mean, it's
Jennifer,
been
I love
a
your
long
passion.
time.
Yep.
I
Same.
really do. I love your passion.
Same. Please come back. We need people to challenge us. Like as long as you're nice and not cruel and not mean, we love being challenged. So thank you, Jennifer. We want more people in chat challenging us on
Kelly-
our thoughts.
Kelly, that's a really good point. They do need to watch out for Scatterboo. He's a sneaky good receiver, and
I
he
heard
can.
something about Scatterboo today. I feel like.
Yeah, I heard his name quite a few times. We were watching
Oh,
Red
just on the
Zone.
Red Zone?
Just so you guys know, like we were kind of watching a little bit of all the games and just all the highlights and stuff. But Scatterboo came up a few times. Yeah, he's a playmaker for the Giants.
Boy,
So.
I was playing this tough guy in fantasy.
Brian said Kelce is pretty. LOL.
He
I
is
was playing
pretty.
this tough guy.
His,
I love
today.
Brian.
His suit with shorts today, though.
Shut up. I was playing
that left
this
a
tough
lot
guy
to
in
be
fantasy today.
desired.
My quarterback only had 7 points. Burrow went out early, but just to let you guys know, I kicked Buck's
Bob and
butt
I,
today in
Bob
fantasy.
and I's quarterbacks,
Kicked his butt.
Bob and I's quarterbacks in
Okay.
fantasy today
Bye.
came up with a total combined points of 18, and that's Josh Allen and Joe Burrow.
Yeah, this is okay. So the pod.
Both quarterbacks won their game.
The podcast is over now.
Yeah, sorry.
We're just gonna talk a little shit on our stuff here. Josh Allen had 12 points. I had 7 points with freaking Burrow, but I did have Ahmad St. Brown. Wow,
that killed me.
Like almost 40 points. Swift actually got a TD from the Bears.
That's all Bob wants to do right now is just talk shit on fantasy football because he beat me today.
Hey, and T. Kraft, the tight end that I took from the Packers. Woo-hoo-hoo.
All right. Do you got anything more to say about the game today, Bob?
Yes, I have a lot.